Okay. All right. So this is technically an emergency live stream. I wasn't going to go live for another hour. Hope everyone is doing well. God bless you guys. If you're watching this video right now, this is a posted video. As I am making this video, I am learning as we go. We do this every so often, so just to be transparent with you, I am not fully prepared, fully ready, but what we do know is it's being reported. There are shots fired in Minneapolis involving federal agents. This is from Bill, trusted source from Fox News, and we also have another verified report. Breaking: federal agent shoots man in South Minneapolis. So just going to wait for some people to roll in. Hope you guys are doing okay. And if you are joining this live stream, make sure to please like the live stream. Helps out a ton. Good to see you guys in our morning, afternoon show. I think on the weekends, I'm going to be bumping it up more so to the afternoon. And just so you guys are aware, again, I am not fully prepared. We're going to do this together. See what's going on here. Thank you guys for being here. Again, do me a massive favor. Make sure to like this stream, share it, leave your comments. Helps out a ton. It happened like literally minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Okay, so we're going to look through all the reports, see what we can find. And if you guys want to also be interactive and maybe help me out, maybe if you guys see something, let me know. A federal agent opened fire on a man in Minneapolis, East Street neighborhood in South Minneapolis on Saturday morning. A Bring Me the News reporter was near the scene and said an agent opened fire at a man outside Glam Doll Donuts on Nicollet Avenue South at around 9 a.m. So we'll keep that in mind. That location. And then we'll look into it. Video from our reporter reveals that multiple shots were fired. Damn, they have a video. With the agent believed to be just a few feet away from the man when he was struck. Whoa. Okay, so they got verified reporting here, 100%. Again, make sure to get this out. Please get this out so we can see what's going on here. The man was seen unconscious on the ground, and responders were carrying out chest compressions. This is a developing story. All right. This is getting real. That's what we know so far. That is what we know so far. And I hope you guys are having a great day. For those of you involved in the winter storm, God bless you guys, and I pray for your peace and safety. Apparently, there might be a video, but as you guys know, we always have to be a little careful with that type of content on here. So if I find a video, I can maybe just show you possibly where to go, or we'll look into it, but we're just waiting to see what's going on. Hey, Ocean Plot, great to see you, and God bless you. Kill BYT3, thanks for being a member. James, Crystal, I see you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Again, if you guys can please like this stream so everybody can see what's going on. And let me get a... We're going to do this in real time. Glam Doll Donuts. We'll look into this. And by the way, I do have a... This is a scheduled show, kind of. Like the people who did the protest in the church in St. Paul, they've been released. We have a bunch of other stuff to talk about, but this takes priority. All right, here we go. We're going to do this in real time. Everybody's just waking up now, so all the big news reporters, we'll see how fast they can catch up. All right, here's a video. Okay, so I'm just going to say right now, I can already hear whistles in the background. So that is early. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. Yeah, all right, so this is verified. I cannot play you guys that full clip, but yeah, it looks like, yeah, not good. All right. We'll wait and see what other reporting we got. Good to see you guys. I cannot play you guys that full clip, but there is a video. So we have Video proof. We have verifiable proof from, we have 3 sources now. And we also have Bill. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for more sources to pop up, wait for some more information. I am going to assume Homeland Security is going to be on it as fast as possible as far as trying to get a message out there or tell people what's going on, because this is going to circulate, obviously. And it is the weekend, so on the weekend you have more people who typically go out for like protests and stuff. And it's great to see you guys as well. Make sure you guys please like the stream. Make sure to please get it out there. I know it's probably early for a lot of people, but yeah, we're going to be waiting for Homeland Security sources to pop up. It does look like that was Border Patrol, though, in the video. I cannot show you guys the full video, but there is a video. That is verified now. And don't worry, we do have some other scheduled stuff as well. Yeah, I can't show you guys that. All I can show you is really these beginning scenes where it looks like there's some fumbling around. Looks like they're going back and forth, and then ultimately something happened. You guys can go look up that video if you want. That's going to be from Right Angle News Network. And unfortunately, hey, look, on this platform, we cannot show you guys videos like that, but I can show you guys the beginning sequence of the videos. We have to follow the TOS, the rules. That looks like Border Patrol again. Bill is reporting that is Border Patrol. Thank you for the $10 donation from Chad Storms. Working 7 days a week now. I'm working Monday through Friday, but listen and comment more than I should at work. Well, be careful, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. See what else we got. Again, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I am very, very curious to see, what the response is going to be. Again, it is still technically early, but I did hear whistles in the background, which could be an indicator that, there might have been advocates in the area. But the fact that that was filmed, I mean, obviously people were there. Let's see if we got anything else. Let's see. I think everyone is scrambling to see what Homeland has to say. Yeah, of course, the media, man, is a little slow. Okay, here we go. Star Tribune. The Minnesota Star Tribune, the local outlet here. Any live streams on the ground? I have no idea. What do you guys think the response is going to be? Yesterday was the day of protest, and to my knowledge, a lot of people were arrested. A lot of people. I saw somewhere that like 100 people were arrested at the terminal there at the airport. Okay, live. Man shot by federal agent in South Minneapolis this morning. Witnesses say. Oh yeah, so there were a lot of people there, or these are people just showing up? I have no idea what the weather is. If somebody wants to fact check me on that, that'll probably have a little bit of an impact as far as who shows up and who doesn't. But they are bundled up right now. More than 100 protesters and observers have gathered. That's a lot. Near East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue. Nicollet Avenue or Nicollet Avenue. Witnesses say a man was shot by a federal agent in South Minneapolis this morning. The Minnesota Star Tribune is on the scene. Here's what else you need to know. Okay, I mean, that's a different story. 24th. Man wrestled to ground by federal agents before being shot multiple times. Multiple sources with knowledge of the situation say federal agents shot a man multiple times in South Minneapolis this morning. A video taken from inside Glam Doll Donuts shows agents wrestling a man to the ground, then shooting him. And yeah, obviously you guys know I cannot show you that, but what we did see was the beginning sequence of the video, as far as there was some wrestling to the ground. We don't know anything else besides that, so as a reporter myself, or trying to be as fair as possible, I want to wait and see what Border Patrol also has to say before we start implying or giving too much of an opinion that's not accurate. Bystanders say man shot by federal agent in South Minneapolis. Scanner reports indicate a man was shot several times in the chest, has been taken to the hospital. Minneapolis Police Department officers are also on the scene. Okay, so it looks like we have a little bit of cooperation. Where's the military? I mean, hey, J.D. Vance said he doesn't think there's a need for it. There's already he actually said there's too many federal agents, he feels like. And President Trump said he doesn't feel like there needs to be the military either, but I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. Gob said, I don't know, every other ICE bad story has turned out to be completely misrepresented. I expect this one will be the same. Again, we never know. We're going to wait and see. That's why I started this channel, was to get all sides, bring it together, and I figured let's just do it together. So the Minneapolis Police Department on the scene, an ambulance has left after CPR was seen being performed on the man. Let's see what else we got. So these are going to be live updates. We'll keep that up. Now everybody is just catching up as far as the report. Breaking DHS, the suspect was armed with a gun which has been recovered by federal agents. Whoa, okay. Now again, keep in mind, in Minnesota, you can have a firearm. It's not like as strict as other states would be. But again, we don't know if he legally had it, didn't have it. As you guys know, no matter what, even if you legally have a firearm, that could escalate the situation. Okay, and thank you, Ocean Plot. Just sent me a message of that if you're in here. Thank you for helping me with that. All right, so now the next thing we're going to be waiting for. Again, Bill is like tied in with Homeland Security, so you can go to him for stories as a trusted source. He does work for Fox. If you don't like Fox News, that's one thing, but he is tied to Fox and has connections to these types of messaging from Homeland Security directly. So if you're ever looking for direct resources for that, you can go to Bill. Here's his X handle. Okay, so now the big thing is we are waiting to see, did they obviously feel a threat or what happened here? That's not what we're going to wait for. But like I had mentioned before, Homeland Security is going to do this probably as fast as possible and get the messaging out there as fast as possible before some sort of escalation or before somebody just says something that might not be possibly true. It's one thing to have your opinion, but as we know in this day and age, an opinion can lead to a wrong implication that could lead to something else that's probably not good. And there are already protesters on the ground out there. So wait and see. Hope you guys are doing well. Again, if you're new here, this is actually kind of a scheduled stream. We were going to go live here in a few minutes, but now this is also an emergency live stream. So if you guys can do me a favor, make sure to please like the live, make sure to share it. And if you don't want to miss other lives, turn on your notifications so we don't miss a thing. So we're monitoring this right now. Maybe a little bit later, we have an actual reaction from the people who were released. The St. Paul Church protesters have been released, if you guys are unaware. But again, we'll talk about that later, most likely. Nothing from Homeland as of right now. And again, just so you guys know, I cannot show you that video. I apologize. We can only watch the beginning sequence. We saw that. There was some wrestling and fussing back and forth. Everybody got taken to the ground, and that's all I can show you guys. But we don't know the full context. We just can see what's on camera, and now we know there was a firearm. Again, and this is coming from verified sources. Man wrestled to ground. And the media is now all just catching up, so we're waiting to see for some reporting. Yeah, SPOX970, thank you for the comment. They say, or he says, watch the vid of the guy who was shot, gonna get crazy today thanks to the optics and narrative of that video. Again, that's the thing. We don't know the full narrative and the full story, so myself, I'm gonna be very careful to not say anything that is true or not true. I have no idea. I'm being super transparent with you. Very dangerous right now to make an implication and not professional at all for your benefit. Like, it's not good to be like, we don't know anything. All we know is man was shot, wrestled, gun. That's all we know right now. You guys understand. And I appreciate all of you guys. But as you are noting, again, it's very easy due to the optics of the situation. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? But I'm waiting to see maybe Border Patrol say something. I did get a report that one of my friends, reporter, we might get some info out there. And I'll leave it at that. Let me see. Let me get a Border Patrol for you guys. Hold on. And I will definitely be looking for the mayor's reaction. That's going to be big. Nothing here. Let's see what the mayor had to say. Here we go. City of Minneapolis. If you guys ever want updates from the actual city of Minneapolis does have their own page, and that typically is what the mayor is saying or indicating. We are aware of reports of another shooting involved federal law enforcement in the area of 26th Street West and Nicollet Ave. We are working to confirm additional details. We ask the public to remain calm and avoid the immediate area. As we know, there are people there already. Somebody asked, what neighborhood is that, so I know where to stay away? This neighborhood, street. Let's see if the governor, Tim Walz, has anything to say. What's up, Lions, today? Good to see you. And it's great to see all of you. Thank you guys again for all your support. These live streams have been very successful. It really is, like, mainly because of you guys. So if it wasn't for you guys, there'd be no show. So I do appreciate you guys trusting me and doing this and also being involved with the reporting. And to be completely transparent with you, you know, I don't know everything, but I'm just doing my best to show you guys the most accurate information. And as of right now, we are quite literally learning together. So thank you guys for everything. Thank you, brother. Is it Tucci or Touche? Tucci? $2 donation, very generous. He says communism is treason. I am the son of an immigrant who fled communism. I grew up my whole life having to learn about the dangers of it. So thank you for that very generous donation. Thank you. Oh, great white cat. You're good. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know, it's very hard when you read the chat. Sometimes it's hard to gauge what people are saying in the sense of, like, there's no way to always read the sarcasm. So I appreciate you guys. Let's see if there's any other reporting. Again, for those of you just joining, there is a video, but I cannot show you guys the full video. And I apologize for that. I think you guys understand why. All right. Let's see what else we got. These are supposed to be live updates or no? Yeah. Okay. This is now, right? Yeah. Governor Tim Walz. We were just on his page. Is that not his page? Yeah. We missed that by 3 seconds. I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. Here we go. The president must end this operation, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers of Minnesota now. That is the response. Actually, that is a quite drastic or different messaging or a response from leadership here. Because as we just saw, give me a second. The city actually was like, everybody remain calm. We didn't really get that from the governor. Let's see if the mayor responded. Interesting, the governor responded before him in an actual... Oh, here we go. No. Yeah, right here. We are aware of reports of another shooting involving federal law enforcement. We are working to confirm additional details. We ask the public to remain calm and avoid the immediate area. And then, Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. The president must end this operation, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers. So, again, quite drastic messaging. I'm just trying to show you guys the full perspective here, but you guys can leave your opinions how you feel about that. Again, we are waiting on more details. I am waiting for a report from actually DHS. DHS typically does do this. For some reason, they do report straight to Bill and some other outlets instead of giving the direct report. You guys can see the video. If you go on X, the video will be circulating everywhere. And again, I fully apologize. I cannot show you guys the video, but what everybody is saying is confirmed as far as the generalities of the details. A man was wrestled to the ground with Homeland Security agents. Shots were fired. CPR was conducted. Ambulance showed up, took the man. Protesters are there. There was a firearm, and that's what we know. We are still waiting to see the rest of the details and updates. And to be responsible, I don't want to lead you guys down a path of... Status Quo is live on the scene on YouTube. Thank you, Smoking Guns, for the $2 donation. Very generous. I am not affiliated with them, so I cannot use their content. I do not have permission to use their content. But we are waiting for the updates. In the meantime, like I said, we have some responses from the protesters who were arrested in that church. We'll get to that probably maybe in a second. I just want to really make sure we're seeing what's going on here because this takes priority. And if you guys are seeing anything I'm missing, if you guys want to help out, that helps out a lot too. Thank you for the generous $5. I don't care what Democrats say or think. They don't care what I think and want me dead because I won't accept their view. That is what James commented. Thank you for the $5 donation. Nothing here. And then let me get one more view on this, and then we will continue on real quick. No, all we have, the most recent update is a response from Governor Tim Walz. And that is all we have right now. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want me to continue on with the interview from her, the person who was arrested at the St. Paul? Nakima was released, and she went on CNN to give her a response. As we're doing that, of course, I will be monitoring, but we can just keep monitoring. Let me know what you guys want to do. Waiting to see what the mayor has to say. I'm really curious what the mayor has to say. I got a bunch of people sending me updates as well behind the scenes to help you guys out. Monitor. Everyone's saying monitor. Give me one sec. We're getting some stories here. Thank you for the $5. Brad, I support ICE. These people have no right to be doing this crappy. Using violence to overturn the 2024 election. That is from Brad. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, I don't know about the Insurrection Act. Again, yeah, I'm getting some people who are out there on the ground saying, I can't say it out loud. They don't know, nobody knows what's going on the ground, but a lot of people are afraid the backlash is going to be real. I'll leave it at that. A lot of people who are way smarter than me, who are on the ground out there, get this sense of it's probably not going to be a great response. All right, if you guys are just joining again, we cannot play that video. It is a little too graphic, but
they're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know?
All I can show you guys is it is verified there was wrestling to the ground. And then if you guys can't hear that, in the background, there are whistles as well. Again, if anybody knows anything about these situations, you know when you hear those whistles, that could be an indicator. I got an update. That could be an indicator that they could have been followed because activists were there. Let me get this up for you guys real quick. We do have a report. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. From Eric. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
DHS was armed. Now, tensions at the scene are high right now. You're looking at a live image. Let's go to Garrett Tenney. He is live in Minneapolis. Garrett.
Yeah, and Kaylee, this just happened this past hour, so details are still coming in. We'll get a clearer picture as this unfolds, so it is still early. But what?
That's Minneapolis Police Department, so keep in mind we do have an immediate response from the police department, quite different than other operations, so keep that in mind.
We are being told at this point from DHS is that Border Patrol had some type of interaction with a man who was armed. This is a picture that our Bill Malusian got from DHS. This is the gun in 2 magazines that they say he was armed with, and Border Patrol engaged him. There was a shooting. DHS says that CPR was being performed on that person, and the Star Tribune reports that person has now been taken to the hospital by ambulance. While the details are still coming in, we're already seeing reaction to this. Governor Tim Walz just tweeted out, "I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. The president must end this operation, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota now." Now, we should point out that...
yeah, again, we don't have all the details, but with some reporting going on. I mean, you can even hear a little bit of the hesitation from Fox to be careful what to say and not to say. Sorry about that. Like, I woke up just a hour ago to get this ready for you guys. But as you guys know, I mean, sometimes with this rhetoric, when you take it too far, we see what happens. And Tim Walz, again, with that, I'm a little surprised with what he said. I would hope in his messaging he does want some peace and for people to calm down, but even Fox News is reporting like, hey, he said something, you know, pretty straightforward there. We want you guys out.
While the details are still coming in, we're already seeing reaction to this. Governor...
Sorry, for those of you just joining, a person was shot, not a Homeland Security officer.
Tim Walz just tweeted out, I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. The president must end this operation.
You heard that. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening.
Pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota.
And pull the thousands of untrained officers. So those are very big accusations, but regardless of the accusations, whether or not they're accurate, as you guys know, when some people hear that or see that, that is my leader saying that. That is the governor. That's the man I voted for. That's why the Trump administration has been arguing. We hope that some leaders can tone it down a little bit. We understand you don't like Homeland, but at the same time, try to be accurate and fair. So, yeah, that's their position, of course. This is from XViper5. Thank you for the very generous $5 donation. The left won't care he was armed. They will say that it's his Second Amendment right. Federal agents ended him unjustly. Just look at Governor Blame, the feds, no facts. So, yeah, we are waiting for those facts. We're waiting to see what the story's going to be, and we're waiting to see what the response will be from Homeland Security. All right, so right now we are in a monitor mode. Thank you for the $20 donation. Born a Hawkeye, very generous. Thank you. The level of media distortion is crazy. And again, I'm just trying to, you know, filter out some things that are accurate, not accurate. Ultimately, it's up to you guys, you know. Ultimately, it's up to the American people. The Trump administration is very reactive to how voters or how Americans feel about certain things, right? So again, I think everyone is scrambling to figure out what's going on. Still waiting for a response from the mayor. And thank you guys so much for being here. We're up to 9,000 live viewers. I'm very, very appreciative of every single one of you. Never assumed I could ever pull a live stream with more than 100 people. So again, it's all because of you guys. Thank you guys for the support. And if you're new here, we do this every single day, 24/7. We are live every day, always ready to go live in emergency streams. I am here for you guys. Unless there's a tornado. I'm letting you know right now, if there's a tornado, I won't be doing that. Please give me some grace. Yeah, I can't play that again. There is a video for you guys. Cannot play that for you. I apologize. We only can play the first half, which is what everybody is talking about. This wrestling or a sequence of event that led to wrestling to the ground, and then shots were fired. So that's all we know right now. And we know that the man had a firearm, according to Homeland Security. As far as lawfully owning it, again, we don't know. He could have been, but again, as many of you know, for lawful gun owners, even if you lawfully own one, you still can always be in a situation of, I don't want to say danger, but there's always this level of, you know, a threat. So we are monitoring right now. Really, really curious what the mayor has to say, because that could set the tone for the rest of the day as far as what's expected. Nothing yet. I think even he knows he has to be a little careful what he's going to say. Nothing there. And again, if you guys see something, just let me know, and maybe we can all look for it together. I am not chipper in my reporting. I think this is very terrible. As you guys know, every single live stream we do and video, we always pray for peace and we always advocate for peace. I am never giddy or chipper whenever we have violent interactions. I think it's very bad. And honestly, I am worried for Minneapolis, to be honest with you. In this particular situation, we saw what happened the first time. We had many opinions, but yeah. You never know. This stuff can be very worrisome. Rapid response 47. No, nothing. We don't have anything yet from Homeland Security. For those of you just tuning in, we are getting reports that a man has been shot by Border Patrol. There is a video. Cannot show you guys the video. But the man has been given CPR apparently on the scene, has been taken away in an ambulance, and now we are just waiting to see what is going to happen next. We are waiting for responses from all sides here. Thank you for the $5 donation. Where are you located? Talking about tornadoes, Oklahoma here. I am located in the alley of tornadoes. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for that very generous donation. Thank you for the generous $10 donation from Chad. Man, how the hell did you pull off 9K? I was shocked at 4K. I think it's the morning show time slot because that's not normal. Congratulations. The only reason why the live streams have been doing good is because of you guys. 100%. And honestly, so when I first started doing YouTube, believe it or not, me being unbiased, and when I say unbiased, I'm a Christian conservative, so I have my biases, but people didn't like that. Now I think so many people have been burnt by the media, so many people don't know what to believe. All of a sudden, people want more neutral reporting. A big portion of my audience is actually left-leaning. I don't want to say big portion, but a lot more people seem to be left-leaning. And so I'm assuming that's why a lot of people tune in. Tim, thank you for the $5 donation. Tim struck me like the kind of guy who likes to go to the... Yeah, I cannot say that out loud, but thank you for that $5 donation. I appreciate it. All right, yeah. Let's see what we got. Again, I mean, I think everyone is waiting for that statement from Homeland, Governor Tim Walz. We saw that. We saw this. Let's see if we can get a live shot. Give me 1 second. Again, this was a somewhat scheduled show. We do have actual videos for other things we were going to talk about, but let's see what's going on here. This is live.
Are you looking to start your own business?
Thank you for the generous $2 donation. God is light. And thank you for the generous $10 donation, KD. Thanks for all you do, T. This is all Minnesota's governor's fault. They need to give access to law enforcement. And according to the reporting and probably this live feed we're about to see, there are police on the ground.
That's why that person did what they did. Like I said, I want to stress that there were some agents that were like listening to the heckling and they were talking back to protesters in a respectful way. But there were just as many, or a handful maybe, that had their fingers on these canisters, and then all of a sudden they started pushing and nobody knew why. And then behind the tape, like push, move, 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 and I'm trying to back up. It's icy out here. I'm walking backwards again by myself. I have a press badge on, and I said, I'm press. Why are you pushing me? And he kept pushing, and then just squirted it right under my glasses in my left eye. But I'm okay. Hey.
Whoa.
Well,
Tear gas.
Tear gas canisters, Chris. We are running back to the scene.
Whoa. Make sure you guys like this stream and get it out. I think people want to see this. This is live.
You guys go get to a safe spot.
We're okay, Chris. We're okay.
Okay, good.
We're okay. We're okay.
Throwing them pretty far.
Yeah, they're just launching these things into the crowd, Chris.
Right.
Whoa.
We are grateful.
You know, we
that
were a
Joe.
safe distance back there.
Okay.
And they are launching these chemical irritant into the crowd. We're okay now, Chris. We're back. We're good.
All right. You guys take a break. Keep your IFB ready to rock because I'm going to come back to you shortly, Joe, okay?
We're here.
Take a break.
Yep, got it, Chris.
Take a break. I'm going to come back to you in a second. All right?
I recognize him. He's actually a good reporter. I do recognize him.
I want to go to a tweet right
They helped me
now of Governor Walz. I am told from producers that Governor Walz just posted on X. I have not read this yet, so I'm reading it cold on the air with you. Governor Walz says, I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning.
And we did see that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. I was not expecting that, that's for sure. Thank you for the $20 donation. Way generous, extremely generous, thank you. The left is just going to keep escalating this until it explodes and spreads. They want chaos. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what's going to happen here. I do have friends on the ground who, for those of you just joining, we literally just saw a tear gas dispensed. I do have friends on the ground right now who are indicating they felt safer in Portland, Oregon than they do over here. So you guys can let me know what you think about that. But I was quite shocked to hear that. They said, yeah, and a lot of my friends have been in situations you've seen on TV with clashes and protesting. They say by far, for some reason, they feel not as safe here right now.
The KARE 11 Saturday morning show, and now we're at the 10:30 hour. Welcome. Here's what we know. We know that there has been a shooting, and that's just confirmed right now by Governor Walz. Mm-hmm. I have a video that I need to see. It's on my phone, just sent to me with another coworker. I have not seen the video yet. I'm going to get to it in a second. But the governor just said that there was a shooting, which is why you're seeing this large reaction, this uprising. People were moving like garbage bins and street signs and barriers into Nicollet Avenue to block ICE from leaving. So we're seeing this.
So that part was not thrown into the reporting from the beginning. You guys just heard that. Blocking ICE.
Out there, Janice Shortle's live out there. We were on the air at about 9:30 this morning, dipping into this live shot because we had heard that there was loud protesting happening. What we saw was Janice Shortle on the ground, on her knees, screaming in agony because she had just been pepper sprayed in the face. She claims that she was shoved once by a federal officer while behind the tape with her press badge. She claims she was shoved a second time after she asked the officer not to push her, and then she was hit with the pepper spray in the face. Her press badge was out.
I cannot control that volume. That is on their end. I have everything cranked up. I apologize.
What we have just been seeing, Lauren, I know you were in transition here, over the last 10 minutes is munitions, explosions. I don't know if they're percussion or if they're tear gas, whatever, but there's explosions happening on the ground as we were talking there. Camera crews had to run back. A lot of smoke you can see in the air. But what we don't have, Lauren, is a lot of the facts as to what they're even protesting right now. We don't know what happened. We don't know who was at fault. We don't know any of this stuff. So it's very premature.
And now we have the governor confirming that there was a shooting, but I think, sadly, in Minneapolis, we have been here before. This is now the third shooting involving a federal agent. And what we have learned throughout this is that the facts continue to evolve.
Right.
We see different videos, we see different angles. And in many cases, there is sort of a rush to judgment because right now our city is a bit of a powder keg.
Okay, we have another report right here. Give me 1 second. It's going to be from Eric. I apologize for that audio volume. I will do my best to make it. Maybe I can get a system here where we can just like blast that up as loud as possible. Here we go.
I say our patriotic ICE agents. Look, I think Minneapolis and the governor and the mayor are to blame for all of this.
Wow.
Because they're doing two things that are endangering both illegal migrants and the protesters. First of all, the sanctuary city policies are what the reason for all these raids. Because if they were just the Trump administration, Tom Homan has said they want to target illegal migrants with criminal records, either charged with crimes or convicted of crimes or have deportation orders. They are not cooperating with ICE.
This right now is the biggest back and forth, and I think a lot of America is starting to try and investigate and figure out what's going on here. Right now, the argument is from Homeland Security, Minnesota has 1,300 people on this detainer. We want to figure out if they are illegal immigrants. We want to help out. Minnesota is arguing the number's not 1,300. The number's around 300 to 400. So it's not as high as what they're saying. We talked about that in yesterday's show. And a lot of you said, I don't care if it's one. Even if it's one, that could still be problematic if that person really did a bad crime. Thank you for the $10 donation, Kansas Girl. I'm sure I know what friends you're speaking of, and it's scary to hear them say they feel safer in Portland. Yeah, I'm just being honest with what they said.
In getting rid of those people, as a result, they have to carry out these large-scale raids in order to find them. And while they're finding them, they're collateral arrests of people who don't have criminal records. Because if they find someone who's here illegally, they're going to take them and they're going to deport them. So they're causing the need for these raids to begin with by their sanctuary policies, and then the protesters are protesting in response to those raids, and they're pouring fuel on the fire by accusing ICE of doing terrible things, which means that somebody's going to get upset and bring a gun to one of these protests, and they're going to get shot.
Okay, so that is that. Again, I'm trying not to make this so one-sided. I'm really doing my best to find reactions and responses. We only have the one main response from the governor.
The Minneapolis people are this is a very peaceful. There's been no actual violence from the protesters' end. There's been shoving and a lot of pointing of mace and bear spray.
Oh, hang on. All right, be safe, get safe. We're just gonna back up here. Thanks, T. Okay, so it looks like we're moving here. It does look like things are escalating just a bit. Protesters are very, very angry. You can see there. We're gonna be safe here. At 27th and Nicollet, I haven't seen any tear gas deployment, but back up, Mitchell. Back up. Okay, so it looks like now they're using flashbangs.
Get out of here. Sammy, get out.
Back up.
Sammy.
All right, more flashbangs are happening now, as you can see.
Those are federal agents right there.
It looks like.
Back away.
It looks like, from what we've seen,
Please back
we're having
away.
more flashbangs. No. Yep. Okay. We're backing up. As you can see, we're on Nicollet and 27th. What it looks like to me is that folks were actually cutting the police tape a bit. That's as much.
If you guys didn't hear that, she just said it looks like people were cutting the police tape. Okay, we have a massive update. Get ready for this. Thank you for the $10 donation. BG on the Scene is live on YouTube. I do not have permission to use his stream, but he is an amazing reporter. If you guys ever want to go follow somebody, let me get this report for you real quick. This is a huge report. 1 second. Stand by. Get ready. Eric. Stand by. The armed person shot by Border Patrol in Minneapolis has died, says the police chief. Man. My personal opinion, I am worried to see what's going to happen today. All right, here we go. Again, we don't have all the details, but for a lot of people, it's like sometimes people don't want to hear it. And we are still waiting for reports from Homeland Security.
It's you. So heard this happen a little after 10:15 Eastern time, and I'll start with what we do know. This was a Border Patrol involved shooting. This was not ICE. Border Patrol shot somebody who DHS tells Fox News was armed with a gun. They have recovered that gun as well as 2 magazines. Now, I'm told the person was shot multiple times, and that medics were working on them, and that CPR was being performed. There is a video floating around online of the shooting where you can see this shooting happening. What we do not know right now is what led up to the shooting or what type of enforcement this was. Was this a targeted immigration enforcement? Did Border Patrol know who this person was? Was it somebody in the U.S. illegally that they were marking for arrest? Was this a protester? Was this an agitator? Was this a U.S. citizen? Those are the questions we don't know right now, obviously.
And I think those are very, very, very important questions when it comes to the context. As many of you guys are aware, the Renee situation, she was an advocate protester. And we're still talking about that when we look at the political scope of things. When we look at the Portland situation, Portland, Oregon, you guys remember that shooting? We went live for that as well. That was a targeted operation in which a vehicle was used to try and hit the agents. That story really died down within a day. Even the Portland city councilors were like, nobody is talking about this anymore. So as you guys can see, the context of all of this is very crucial. And I think Homeland Security knows whatever they report next and whatever they say can really dictate what the response can be. Thank you for the $5 donation. Volume Master Extension, great coverage, by the way. How long until they call an insurrection? Thank you for the $5 donation. I don't know. J.D. Vance is saying he doesn't think we need it. President Trump is saying, I don't think we need it.
When something like this happens, information is coming out very quickly, and there's all sorts of differing reports. But what we can confirm is that Border Patrol agents did, in fact, shoot somebody in Minneapolis this morning. And DHS tells Fox News that person was armed with a gun. You're looking at images of that gun right now. The gun was loaded and had two separate magazines. So we do not have an update on that person's condition just yet. I'm working the phones, working the sources to find out exactly.
I am getting information right now that the chief of police is reporting the man is not alive right now. Thank you for the £2 or euros. I don't know what that is, but thank you for that donation. Time to arrest Tim Walz and end this.
What led up to this, who this person was, how it all went down. But you can see from the live images, obviously this is going to turn into a powder keg situation. You've got politicians putting statements out already. Yeah. You got people gathering to protest. You got, federal agents and police trying to hold those folks back. As information starts to develop on this shooting throughout the morning, you're going to have more and more people showing up at the scene here, and this is likely going to turn into another scene of heated protest today based off what we've seen in Minneapolis the last couple of weeks, Kaylee. But going to continue working the phones. All we can confirm right now, Border Patrol shooting, one suspect down, and gun recovered.
And,
all right, so that's what we know so far. The only big response really was from the governor. I would have to assume a lot of people are a little hesitant to give out responses, to be honest with you. I would assume. Now we know that depending on a response, we could have a reaction. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see what else we can find. Thank you guys again for being here. I hope everyone is doing well. I know we have the snowstorm. So God bless everybody, and please be safe, and please pray for peace. I think collectively we have like 8,000 people in here. Through prayer, we have a little bit of power, a lot of power. Sorry about that. Yeah, cannot show you guys full clips. I was an extended view away, but again, what we know is what we know. Shots were fired. Protesters were out there. We hear whistles, but we don't know who the person was. We don't know what the situation was, and I will do my best to try and give you guys accurate information here so you guys can have an informed opinion. Nothing here. One second. Yeah, nothing from the mayor. He's usually very quick to respond too, so he might be setting up a press conference, maybe. I'm also monitoring some other outlets to see what's going on here.
Road strips. These look like nails that protesters have put on the road here. Again,
those are stop
even
sticks,
if someone were to drive.
Look at that.
Stop sticks, exactly, Chris, that people have put on the ground here so that I guess if federal vehicles were attempting to leave, that they would then catch their tires and give them flat tires. So
okay, so why is that not being reported in the other things we're trying to look into? This is why I do YouTube, and I hope you guys can trust me. Why is that not? You guys can go back and clip that, and if you want to send that to me through X, why is that part not being shown?
as of course, people who are not here protesting are just trying to get to and from places.
Right. Okay.
And so at this point, you said MPD, State Patrol were on the scene. What do you see them doing?
State Patrol is just trying to keep a perimeter. And MPD was also doing the same. You know, of course, MPD, they have said repeatedly that their sole purpose when they arrive to a situation like this is to make sure that everyone stays safe, that the federal agents stay safe, that the protesters stay safe, and that they are able to secure the scene. So that is what all three law enforcement agencies are doing. In terms of when we see that chemical irritant deployed,
I mean, what is going on here, you know?
By those federal agents, Lauren.
All right, Joe, we appreciate your reporting out there. We appreciate Jana's reporting out there.
And if you guys are just joining, this outlet literally they reported that they see protesters blocking off the road. Reclaim, $100 insane donation. Thank you so much. T-SPLY, check your Twitter request after stream. It's important. Insanely generous donation. Wow. Thank you so much for that. And yes, I will do that.
Coming violent.
I
you
promise.
have to disperse people.
Right.
So like it's a fine line when that's excused and when it's not. What Jana reported was not that though. Jana reported listening to a law enforcement officer being pushed twice and then pepper sprayed in the face. But what we're seeing is we're trying to be out there, report, we're trying to witness, we're trying to document what's happening, and our reporters are getting hit with all that gas. So that is not a good situation. But I'm happy to say that they're at a safe place now, and we can try and ascertain the facts. We've reached out to the governor's office, we've reached out to the mayor's office of Minneapolis to try and get to ascertain some sort of interview to
I don't think they're going to talk.
What happened. Again, we are working to authenticate.
Yeah, and we are also working to authenticate. And I appreciate these journalists not, you know, creating a narrative or story. They're just showing us what's on the ground. Nothing from the mayor. And to me, that actually says something. I think they are aware with whatever he says can be a pretty big deal. Typically, the mayor is pretty fast to say something. I mean, when the protesters got arrested with the St. Paul protest in the church, Mayor Frey was like immediately on it. And he's like, hey, you need to release them immediately. And again, if you guys are new here, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you up to date with this story and others. We do have an actual scheduled show here as far as what this was supposed to be about the live stream, but as of right now, we are focusing on these events. Nothing here. Let's see if we have the Minneapolis Police Department. Let me see if they have. Yeah, because Eric is reporting the Minneapolis police chief said the man is not alive. Right here. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, so federal agents are using deterrence right now on the ground. We just saw that live. Trying to find some more info for you guys. We're also waiting for Homeland Security to put out their statement. We just saw this. massive pushback.
Aggressively attacking all
Okay, and again, I do want to note that is from federal agents. Now, we're being told that Minneapolis police, they are on the ground, but as far as the actual deterrent to push people back, that was from Homeland. You can see right here, these are federal agents. I don't see the Minneapolis Police Department, but apparently they are out there. We saw them on camera. To give credit where credit is due, that is BG on the scene. If you guys, I think he's live right now, but if you guys ever want some good reporting, BG on the scene. One of my favorite independent reporters. Okay, we have some more clips. Give me 1 second. Also from Eric. One second, please. Here we go. This is from Rapid Report. All right. That looks like, is this a federal agent right here? I cannot tell. So again, very hard to see what's going on here, but it looks like the recent reporting we just saw on that live TV was that the tape was being cut and people were trying to cross into the tape here. Okay. Getting some more raw footage, trying to get all the information for you guys here. Again, we still don't know what's happening. We got to be careful as far as pushing a narrative that's not true. We're trying to be accurate here so you guys can go away with an informed opinion. But regardless, I will be monitoring throughout the day to see what's going on. This is I'm also waiting for other reactions from city councilors and from other leaders. Right now, the highest profile leader so far was the governor himself, who just, he called Homeland Security untrained agents. Untrained officers. See right there? Waiting to see what else is going on. Waiting for Homeland.
To share information or any investigatory details with the BCA. So the BCA has been unable to draw conclusions or make recommendations because they simply don't have enough information to do their investigation. That has been a source of friction between local and federal authorities, as local authorities, including the governor, the mayor, and the head of the BCA, want an investigation done here in Minnesota on shootings that are happening here in Minnesota. But the federal government has thus far decided to maintain control over these investigations.
And you just laid that out perfectly, but what also is happening, and the domino because of that, is that an FBI investigator just yesterday resigned.
That is the reporting.
Because that FBI investigator said that Washington had curbed their civil investigation into the shooting of Miss Good.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about that as well. I don't know if you guys heard that report. Apparently, one of the FBI investigators did resign. I don't have all the details on that and both sides of that story, but I am monitoring it for you guys as well. Now, Homeland Security has still said nothing. Again, I think they want to be very accurate in what they have to say. Mayor Fry still has said nothing. Nothing here. Again, I cannot show you guys the video, unfortunately. It is not safe. Or it's against the terms of service.
You killed another fucking person! What the fuck is wrong?
That's the aftermath. So yeah, again, we know that this happened. That's all we know. We know what we see on the screen here. And we also know that there were protesters, it looks like. Again, almost immediately you have the caution tape. I apologize if I missed. $10 donation. BCP is live on YouTube. Okay. That's my guy. He's amazing. Great reporter. AK Aviator, $4 donation. Thank you. Mark my words, no matter what the details are, the left will spin this as a violent murder. Pray for peace in Minneapolis. I mean, we'll see what happens. And yes, please pray for peace. Now, I'm going to go to the preacher. Hopefully he's doing okay.
Building on trains. There were, a lot of them went down. I watched them come out of the building at Whipple and flick us off. Protesters. Listen, when you're a protester, you can whatever the fuck you want. It's your First Amendment.
And they're still engaging back there. You can hear it. By the way, make sure you guys please go show the BC preacher some love. In fact, it would be really cool if you guys go into his comments and go say, hello, we support you. BC preacher is he goes in the trenches, all right? Very fair and accurate reporting. He needs to be way bigger than he is. Very, very fair in his reporting. I was actually going to play some clips of him today in the show, but... All right, he's walking away from the scene. We will keep monitoring. Let's see what else we got. Nothing here. We can X that out.
Lethal weapons, but
I'm trying to get all these reports for you guys. Yeah, so the police chief has officially confirmed that the man is not alive right now. He has passed away. We have that information now. Several witnesses have already been transported to the Whipple building. ICE attempted to order local police from the scene, but O'Hara refused, sources say. That would be Minneapolis police. All available MPD officers have been called into work except dog watch overnight shift. And days off canceled. So this is all hands on deck from the Minneapolis Police Department. Again, to repeat, this report is saying the local police, ICE attempted to order local police from the scene, but O'Hara refused. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Again, keep that in mind as far as the political angle of all of this.
Now, tensions at the scene are high right now. You're looking at a live image. Let's go to Garrett Tenney. He is live in Minneapolis. Garrett.
Yeah, and Kaylee, this just happened this past hour, so details are still coming in. We'll get a clearer picture as this unfolds.
And this would be the Minneapolis Police Department right here. So, again, it looks like they were there initially. Behind them, those are the federal agents. So I will be monitoring that aspect of the story. Thank you for the $5 donation from Ami. I appreciate it. Or Amy.
So it is still early, but what we are being told at this point from DHS is that Border Patrol had some type of interaction with a man who was armed. This is a picture that our Bill Malusian got from DHS. This is the gun in two.
Those are state troopers, by the way. So this is reporting Minneapolis police. They were told to leave, but these are the state troopers, different jurisdiction. Maybe they are sticking around.
magazines that they say he was armed with, and Border Patrol engaged him. There was a shooting. DHS says that CPR was being performed on that person, and the Star Tribune reports that that person has now been taken to the hospital by ambulance. While the details are still coming in, we're already seeing reaction to this. Governor Tim Walz just tweeted out, "I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. The president must end this operation, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of..."
Okay, I have another video for you guys, and more of a view overseeing everything. Give me 1 second. Let's go here. This video just popped up. Okay.
Ground, and then...
Oh, I don't have permission to use that. I apologize. That's the status quo. I am not affiliated with them. I don't have permission to use their stuff. Okay, we are still monitoring. Again, if you guys are new here, make sure to please subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Make sure to please like the stream. Helps out a ton. And I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I know there's supposed to be a big snowstorm, ice storm. And yeah, if you're spending time here, make sure you guys also take care of your families. That's also very important. If you got to go take care of that stuff.
To verify and confirm.
And I apologize. For some reason, the audio is super low with this.
And in the last hour, things have escalated. People have been coming out in, I guess, droves, if you would, to that area to protest.
Yep.
And things have gotten out of hand. In that area, there have been barricades put up by protesters so that no one could leave or enter. We're talking about garbage dumpsters,
we saw stop sticks,
like jacks that will pop your tire, signs, anything they could to move it and block the street. That is when we saw canisters of smoke being deployed, loud explosions being heard, tear gas being deployed in the middle of crowds, regardless if there's press there or not. So as law enforcement tries to get a peaceful sense of what's happening around there, it has been a panic in that area. And again, it's only a couple hundred people. I mean, there's like 5.5 million people in Minnesota. We're talking about a couple hundred people.
To me, a couple of hundred seems like a lot. A couple hundred, but I understand what he's saying.
Moment. And in about a half hour, we should learn more about facts of what caused this.
And much of what we have been able to confirm this morning has come from tweets, from statements, from public officials. Governor Walz confirming a shooting. Then Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara on CNN earlier today confirming that the person who was shot has died. Now we have this new statement just in from Representative Betty McCollum. She represents the St. Paul area in Congress.
She's a Democrat.
Getting information on another shooting involving a federal agent in Minneapolis. There must be a full investigation. I call upon Kristi Noem to stop all DHS operations in Minnesota. That's a brand new statement in from Congresswoman Betty McCollum, a Democrat.
And just so you guys know, none of the major people like Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, we don't have anything from them. Let's see real quick. Nothing from Pam Bondi. Check DHS real quick. We're doing this in real time. Nothing there. And we still don't have a response from the mayor as well. We do have a response from the chief of police. Looks like there's some back and forth as far as keeping his men and women on the ground, not leaving the scene.
Law enforcement allow them to perform and execute their legal warrants. And if you run into problems, stay out of the vicinity of law enforcement. Allow them to perform and execute their legal warrants. And if you want to protest, you have that right. stay out of the way. If you are a subject of an arrest warrant, whether you think it's justified or not, or whether or not you are okay with this, it doesn't matter. You cooperate with law enforcement.
And again, just to be accurate with the story, we don't know who the person was, what was going on, what the operation was. We don't know if it was a targeted operation. We don't know anything. We just know it happened.
I don't know if these are smoke bombs. It was peaceful when we began to talk, and we noted that rhetoric really matters now, and calming tensions really matters. What are we seeing on our screens now? What's your analysis of this?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to keep things calm and, diffuse the tension. Again, Kaylee, this is not what agents ever want to have happen. It's insulting to hear this governor make it seem like, this is the wild, wild west and this is what they want to be doing. This is not what they want to be doing. They are literally enforcing the laws. These are targeted interactions. These are targeted operations. They are simply doing their job. And again, without the details of who the subject is, whether they were someone that they were arresting, whether they were a bystander or protester, frankly, when you're looking at the deadly force policies, that's completely irrelevant. For them, they are literally looking at what we've gone over and over before. But my piece of advice to anyone in Minneapolis and frankly anywhere in the country, let the law enforcement do their job.
Okay, so we finally have some reporting from more left-leaning sources. I'm very curious how they are reporting it. And again, even if you don't agree with it, like I always say, I think it's crucial we listen to what they're saying and how it's being reported from their end. And then, yeah, I'm really curious. Give me 1 second here, because now everybody's catching up. This is going to be from MS. I forget the new name, MS Now. And we are getting more information about what the man looked like, but because it's not coming from verified sources, I'm letting you guys know right now, a lot of independent sources on the ground have pictures of who the person was, and I'll leave it at that. You guys can conduct your own investigations if you want, but we are waiting for the official responses from Homeland Security as far as what's going on here. But I'm just letting you guys know right now, the reporting is going wild on X as far as, I don't want to say coming to conclusions, but there are images coming out.
In this point, when he's on the ground, I'm trying to see what his hands are doing because that's the most important thing. And at one point, he's on all fours, so you can see his hands. From what I could see, there was no weapon in him. Now, when he goes down and people get on top of him, what I don't understand.
I just got big news real quick. U.S. Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino and ICE Executive Assistant Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations Marcos Charles are scheduled to speak at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. That'll be in an hour on the immigration enforcement operations following a deadly shooting. So we have a couple of options here, people. Do you want me to keep this stream going, or do you want me to stop? But I mean, we still have a lot of info coming in. I really want to see what that's all about.
You make sure that your weapon in its holster is facing away from them, and that's where all the training comes in. We train like that in FBI Academy all the time of people that aren't armed that you're trying to handcuff that are resisting. It can be tough, but you do have to go through that. You have to really control, again, the arms first, the legs second.
Okay. So that is from MS Now, just to get another perspective as far as what's going on here. And again, as you heard, that reporter is saying he wants to see where the arms were. Give me 1 second. I got a bunch of people helping me behind the scenes as far as making sure you guys get all the best information. If you guys can do me the biggest favor ever, one of the people who are helping me, an up-and-coming journalist in my opinion, I think he's going to be one of the best here pretty soon, is somebody named Ocean Plot. If you guys can just keep his name in mind, Ocean Plot, very, very fair, very accurate, and he really reports the details. Ocean Plot on X, he is helping me right now, but has also helped out a lot of other journalists. He is the unspoken hero, so keep his name in mind. If you want to screenshot that, make sure to go follow him and tell him we say hello. Thank you for the $5 donation. You are doing a great job informing, and I love to watch you during my morning workouts. Well, I appreciate you, Megan. And yeah, I got to start working out a little bit more as well, so I appreciate it. Unfortunately, sometimes these live streams are not the most uplifting live streams, because I know when you work out, you want to be really motivated here. But Ocean Plot just sent me a link for where this live stream is going to be. So let me get this link for you guys real quick. And then let me get set up real fast. Again, we're doing this live for the press conference here. Chief Bovino is going to be speaking. Now, I don't know if Chief Bovino was on the ground in this operation or what's going on with that, but let me get that for you guys real quick. Real quick. 1 second. Pull that up for you guys. I have about 5 billion tabs open. Every once in a while, you guys probably see the tabs. Okay, here we go. 41 minutes. Okay, we got 41 minutes till that live stream. All right, so we will be monitoring that as well. So I guess in 41 minutes, we will get some more information. In the meantime, we could still scan and see, has the mayor said anything yet? Does Christy know him? Probably not. Thank you, Ocean Plot, again. So people are being arrested right now. All right, let's pull that up for you guys. Yeah, it's getting serious. It's getting very serious right now. I mean, this is the reaction already within minutes of the situation. Keep that in mind as far as the context of this story. All right, here we go.
Year. So before any of this happened, he was already fanning the flames. And what's interesting about
Jonathan,
that is...
really quickly, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you right now because we're watching live pictures right now. It looks like either Border Patrol agents or law enforcement agents are taking down someone right now and arresting them. And we can see what's been happening here in the last several minutes is that this is just becoming an intense situation. And I don't see any other local law enforcement in the area. I know that state...
You can see snow is being thrown at them. And again, I'm trying to find some other perspectives here. I know a lot of this is coming from like a Fox. I'm looking for MS Now. I'm looking for CNN. I'm not seeing too much as to what they're saying. But watch this right here.
I don't see any other local law enforcement in...
Right there. Let me pull the screen down. Watch right here.
Any other local law enforcement in the area.
Boom.
I know that Garrett Tenney said state police are on the scene. Let's actually go back out live to Garrett Tenney if we can, because I think he's right next to this camera. Garrett, can you hear me?
Yeah, Aisha.
What are we watching
We are on the
here?
opposite side of this intersection. So I'm not sure exactly where our other roving cameras, but you can see just down the street here.
Man, I don't know if the Insurrection Act will get invoked because of this. Maybe. You never know. J.D. Vance said again yesterday, as of right now, no. But if it escalates, yes. There are soldiers on standby. In Alaska, 11th Airborne, and over in Fort Bragg, there are military police on standby. All right, I got another clip for you guys. 1 second. Not here. Where is this? I'm really curious what the stand down order is. No. Guess not. Again, I'm trying to verify who gave a stand down order and what's going on with that. The Minneapolis police chief is saying he told his men to not leave. It's being reported ICE said to leave. All right. I thought I had a video for you guys. Again, we are waiting for this press conference over here. It says 37 minutes. The press conference will be started. This is going to be Chief Bovino and ICE, which means we probably won't be getting a written statement. from Homeland Security as of right now. I think they're going to wait for that press conference, in my opinion. Still very surprised we don't have anything from the mayor. I apologize. I'm trying to be interactive with you guys as well. Thank you guys so much again for being here. I really appreciate it. These live streams have literally only been as good as they are because of you guys. I appreciate it. And we have another press conference, 11:30. Are they like trying to undercut it? City leaders will provide the information we have available. Oh, man. Okay. So get ready. That's going to be in... Is that 36 minutes? All right, guys. Here we go. We're going to have overlapping press conferences, it looks like. Wow. Thank you again, guys, for your generosity. I appreciate that. Okay, so we have this press conference at 5. This is going to be city officials. Man, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No wonder we haven't had a response from the mayor. Looks like this will be the response here very soon. Now, Border Patrol in 30 minutes. I don't know if this is going to be an overlapping thing or what's going on. I don't know if this is on purpose. Drag this over here. A lot of times what I notice in the, I hate to use the word the narratives because we're just trying to seek the facts. A lot of times what I've noticed, especially in the Portland situation, who can get the story out first is what it seems like a lot of times happens. As far as this is our side of the story, that's their side of the story. There you go. Which can obviously be a little dangerous, right? If we are intentionally doing that. Again, I don't know if this is intentional, but I will say the timing of it is interesting to be just before the Homeland Security press conference. Considering Homeland Security most likely will have, I don't know, we'll see what they're going to have to say. I have no idea. And God bless all of you guys again. Thank you so much for being here. And like I always say, seriously, please pray for peace. Unfortunately, a lot of this is very intense stuff. Every single day, man. Every single day, it seems to be very intense. I might start to only report a separate live stream that's like positivity. We'll see. The nighttime positive show. Wow. Okay, so again, we're getting a lot of unverified reports as far as what we're seeing on the ground, who the man was, what he looked like. I am not going to report that to you guys. If you want to go look that up, you can. The only reason why I'm not reporting it is because we don't know exactly what happened. We don't know if this was a protester. We don't know if he was an illegal immigrant. We don't know if this was a targeted operation. We simply don't know. But I'm just trying to show you guys how fast this goes. We are already seeing what the man looked like. But to be responsible to you guys, I don't want to lead you down a path that's not accurate or, that's not fair to you guys. And thank you for becoming a member, James Taylor, AA80. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Yeah, we have 6,000 live viewers. I do appreciate that. Literally, it's because of you guys, so thank you. 3 minutes. We have a 3-minute countdown. Now, this would be interesting. What if Border Patrol started their stream at the same time or right before? I don't think they care. Look, Homeland Security, this is when we're going to start. We're not going to play the antics. Yeah, I'm really, the one thing to really pay attention to or listen to is this stand down order. Did Homeland Security tell the local police to get the heck out of here? That's what we will be listening for. Again, as many of you are aware with the Renee situation, that was a really big angle. One of the biggest angles was that, hey, we want to perform our own investigation. FBI is not letting us. We're getting no cooperation here. So listen for that. This will also be the first response we're hearing from the mayor. Listen to the wording. We heard from the governor himself. He said, I want them out. Get the agents out of here. And I talked to the White House. So we know that the governor did talk to the White House. I'm also curious, are we going to get a response from the mayor of St. Paul? Are there going to be city councilors? I have no idea. Yeah, I'm getting reports here that state and local police were told to stand down by Democrat leaders. So again, I have no idea who gave that order. This is from BGB. Thank you for the $10 donation. BGB says, guy pulled SIG with full mag on ice. The pic is already up. Again, we're gonna hear what they have to say. That's why I said, there are pictures and videos circulating. I am seeing them on my phone. But we don't know if this man was a protester. Again, we don't know what's going on as far as that aspect. I am very curious. But yeah, I am well aware, just so you guys know, those pictures are out there. But we're going to have to wait and see what they're going to say. 30 seconds. And again, the other thing too is the legality of the firearm. That's another aspect. I don't know. Thank you for your generous donation, by the way. The St. Paul mayor is still silent about last Sunday. The St. Paul mayor did make a comment. She was saying that she was a Christian and that at first she said ICE is going into these types of places, and then she sort of pulled back a little bit. Live in 6 minutes. And then she had said, she kind of had two statements. One statement was a little more aggressive. The other statement was a little more lax. But you guys can take it as it is. Okay, now we have to wait 5 minutes. Man, are they going to do this press conference at the same time? We have a 30-minute timeline here for Homeland Security. And by the way, when I say legality of firearm, in the other Border Patrol incidents, like if somebody has an illegal firearm, that's what I'm trying to say. I am not saying he pulled it out. Just wanted to clarify that statement. I've already clarified that statement. For legal firearm owners, as you guys know, you always have to let the police know, hey, I have this. That's like standard procedures. Especially if you got pulled over. Okay, do we have something from Border Patrol? Border Patrol already put something out, but it's an odd statement. Hold on. Not odd, but it's not directly talking about it. All right, this is from Border Patrol. Border Patrol agents are trained extremely well to protect themselves, their fellow agents, and innocent third parties. When a supposed peaceful protester brings a weapon, such as a loaded handgun, and brandishes it, again, this is what I'm talking about, there are going to be severe consequences and repercussions. They added the qualification, and brandishes it. We have pleaded with and warn the media and politicians that their irresponsible, hate-filled, and false rhetoric is going to get people unnecessarily hurt or worse, killed when they portray our agents and officers as aggressors. They have encouraged these reckless confrontations and attacks on our agents and officers who are performing their lawful duties and enforcing laws that Congress has put on the books. The fake and dishonest media and the shameless politicians should be held accountable for willfully misleading the public and inciting these protesters and agitators. We have full confidence that when more facts are revealed, our agents and officers will be shown to have utilized justifiable force in eliminating the threat. So that is from Border Patrol. All right, we are waiting for this. We have 3 minutes. This timeline reset. And we are also waiting for this press conference in 26 minutes. Now, again, that was sort of a preemptive statement. That's why I told you guys a lot of times these agencies, they sometimes try to get their messaging out first. When a supposed peaceful protester brings a weapon, such as a loaded handgun, and brandishes it, there are going to be severe consequences and repercussions. And even Border Patrol is admitting, we have full confidence that when more facts are revealed, our agents and officers will be shown to have utilized justifiable force in eliminating the threat. So this is the very first government statement we are seeing as far as from Homeland Security side of the story. I think Governor Tim Walz was technically the first big statement as far as not being pleased with this. Okay, so in 60 seconds, we're going to get this press conference. Scanning for you guys, again, making sure we have any other information. We're also waiting for the reactions. I mean, the reactions, this is going to be a very big deal, depending on how people feel about it. Yesterday was already a very big day of protest, and many people were arrested, and people are already being arrested as far as surrounding the current scene. Thank you for the $10 donation. That is from BGB. BGB617 says, Darwin earning time and a half in a Minnesota this weekend. That is from BGB. All right, we are waiting for, and thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Divergent said it's like negative 10 degrees here now. Again, we'll see. Weather dependent. I think we've seen that sometimes the weather sometimes can deter people, but a lot of times in like situations like this, I don't know. There were already about 200 people who were surrounding the scene. I actually have a video of that. There's an armored vehicle trying to enter the scene, and there are protesters there. I can pull that up for you guys right now. But we're also waiting for this, so... can I go to the link? Get the audio on, so we're ready to go. Give me 1 second, guys. I got a very big, interesting video for you guys. Give me 1 second. Derek. Okay. Check this out. I told you guys, there's a lot of protesters there already.
Moving into the area, some water bottles being thrown at police now that are here on this line. The federal vehicle slowly trying to inch its way forward into this crowd, despite the growing number of people that are standing right in front. You can hear the siren going off. People now throwing ice and water bottles at this federal armored vehicle.
It's incredible. Jonathan Fahey, if you're still on the phone with me here, I don't know if you can see what's watching live. I mean, this is a deterioration of a situation that, I mean, we're all just in shock of right now. It's hard to tell who the heck is in charge in Minneapolis right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes this so bad is, both the mayor and the governor have had over a week to get things under control, and they've done everything they can to undermine ICE, undermine federal law enforcement, which they know has a legitimate role to be there. And
all right, trying to get waiting on this. It's 11:32. What? This is a weird report. Is this accurate? Holy cow. Give me 1 second to verify this report. I mean, give me 1 second, people. Eric. Again, I'm this is not good stuff, guys. We don't want to see this.
Security. They say at 9:05 a.m. Central, so that's 10:05 Eastern, DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation.
Okay, so this is the official report now. Pay attention. Listen, this is the official report. This is going to be from Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security. They say at 9:05 a.m. Central, so that's 10:05 Eastern, DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault. An individual then approached a U.S. Border Patrol officer with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. And we have that image, if we can put it up on the screen for our viewers to see. This is the image shared with us by DHS. So they say a man approached their U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers then attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. So I'm imagining they're reviewing.
Now, I don't know how you guys are interpreting that. Did he have it out? Or did he have it in concealed? How are you guys interpreting that? Because
their U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers then attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. So I'm imagining they're reviewing whatever footage they have of this, the sequence of this event. Okay, so the statement goes on to say, this is again from Homeland Security, fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on scene immediately delivered medical aid to that subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines, no identification. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Again, this is...
Yeah, that's a good comment. That's a good point from... Again, they're not saying it verbatim, but somebody's saying, how would they know he had it unless he was brandishing it at them? That is Pati 2732. But again, they're not saying it, and I think these key details, again, every single little word is so crucial in these instances. Very crucial.
Do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Again, this is from Homeland Security. They also add that about 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement on the scene. Crowd control measures were deployed for the safety of the public and law enforcement, and the situation is evolving, and that is what we're watching now.
That's the statement. Okay, so that is the official statement. Now, did Homeland post it? But that is going to be their side of the story. Targeted operation. Here we go. This is it right here. And we are waiting for the press conference as well. All right, let me know what you guys think about this. Okay, so Homeland, this is their statement. Again, we just heard law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, seen here. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle forthcoming, which is what I think will be happening here in 17 minutes. Get ready for this press conference. Fearing for his life and the lives and the safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines and no ID, like we heard. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Very, very big words there from Homeland. Implications from Homeland. About 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement on the scene. Crowd control measures were deployed. We saw that live. For the safety of the public and law enforcement, this situation is evolving and more information is forthcoming. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Man, this is what happens when we do this live. It's pretty intense stuff. I don't know how they knew to be there. Now, when we start to back up and look from the outside in, I don't know how they knew to be there. I don't know that situation. Were they being followed? Was there we don't know anything. Was there a convoy? We are waiting for the press conference from Minneapolis, and we are waiting for the press conference from Homeland Security. Are they both going to start at the same time? We have a statement from Congresswoman Omar. I will just read it out loud to you guys because I want to monitor this. I don't want you guys to miss this. Here's what Congresswoman Omar had to say. And get ready. I mean, this huge implications here. This appears to be an execution by immigration enforcement. First sentence. Very first sentence. This appears to be an execution by immigration enforcement. I am absolutely heartbroken, horrified, and appalled that federal agents murdered another member of our community. Mind you, we do not even have all the facts at all. Other than what Homeland just said, that's what we know so far. And they're even saying we're going to give you more facts. It's beyond shameful. These federal agents are targeting our residents instead of protecting them. This isn't isolated or accidental. The Trump administration is trying to beat us into submission rather than protect us. This is straight from Congresswoman Omar's government page. This is not a private statement. This is a federal page here, or, gray check mark. This administration cannot continue violating constitutional rights under the guise of immigration enforcement. ICE and CBP must leave Minnesota immediately. Their presence is terrorizing our communities, violating rights, and taking lives with zero accountability. Minnesota was once a place of refuge, and Trump has turned it into a war zone where unchecked federal forces murder our neighbors. That is the statement from Congresswoman Omar. And if you guys want to go fact check me, verify that, you can actually go to Representative Ilhan Omar, her page. Here we go, guys. So, again, for context, we have the press conference for Homeland Security in 15 minutes. I'm going to do my best to show you both. I don't know if this is on purpose or what's going on, but I'm going to do my best to report on both sides here. I don't know whose side you want to hear, but we have Homeland Security's side. I'm curious if they're going to add more details to the statement. Again, trying to get all sides of the story here for you guys. But we've actually had a lack of response, more so than from like the church protester thing. You know, we don't have a lot of responses here. The only big response we had was Governor Tim Walz. And now Congresswoman Omar. And make sure you guys please like the live stream so the other T-SPLY subscribers and some new people can possibly see this. Helps out a ton. And I thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys. I'll pull this up too. Why not? And they muted their microphone. Okay, we are waiting on these press conferences. Listen to the details and the wording. But yeah, Congresswoman Omar's statements using the word murder twice. Again, her first sentence, this appears to be an execution by immigration enforcement. That is from Congresswoman Omar on her official government X page with the gray check mark, not from her personal page. That so far has to be the most aggressive statement. Now, Governor Tim Walz said, get ICE out of here. Okay, and we are waiting. Their microphone is muted right now. Not sure what's going on here. Again, I don't know. Are they waiting for the other press conference to start? And again, if you guys are just joining, Homeland Security already put out their statement and their side of the story. Homeland Security is saying they think the man was intending to do harm to law enforcement. That's what Homeland is saying. So we're waiting. And yeah, there are videos and pictures right now circulating as far as the interaction and the engagement on the ground. But what we are waiting for is the verification from bigger sources, from Homeland Security. Now, did Homeland use the word protester? Law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault. They're just saying an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. Wondering if we're going to get more details on this. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Okay, we're waiting on these responses, of course. What do you guys think so far? What do you think is going to be the response? Protesters on the scene were not too happy, that's for sure. I have another response if you guys care. This is from Aaron Melnick. Aaron Melnick is... Never mind. He's not a government official. I thought he was somebody from California. Okay, this is from Amy, U.S. Senator from Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar. Here's her statement. Again, listen to the words. This is a senator on her government account. Donald Trump and all your lieutenants who ordered this ICE surge, watch the horrific video of the killing today. The world is watching. Thousands of citizens stopped and harassed. Local police no longer able to do their work. Kids hiding. Schools closed. Get ICE out of Minnesota now. And Republicans in Congress, stop your silence. Stop being complicit. That is from Senator Amy Klobuchar, U.S. Senator from Minnesota. Thank you for the $3 donation. What's your name? I'm real. Omar is a disgrace and should be impeached ASAP. Thank you for the $3. Thank you for the generosity. She is being investigated. To my knowledge, the House Oversight is doing an investigation into her. Let me see if I have other reactions for you guys. Waiting for this. I'm wondering, are they really... We're going to have to make a decision here. I mean, what side of the story do you guys want to hear? Are we going to listen to Minneapolis, or are we going to listen to Homeland Security, Border Patrol Chief Bovino? I don't know how to do a poll. Sorry. I mean, what side do you guys want to hear? And I hate to say what side, but I think you guys know, like, we're probably going to have possibly different perspectives here. Or different information. I would assume the city is going to speak from the side of what Governor Tim Walz had to say. Both sides. Okay, vastly homeland. Okay, so I have a statement from Senator Chris Van Hollen for you guys. Senator Chris Van Hollen was that senator who went down to El Salvador to see Kilmar Obrego Garcia, to give you an idea who that is. On his page, not a personal account, by the way, another brutal killing by Trump's ICE agents. First sentence. Trump, Vance, Noam, Miller, and the whole morally depraved crew have blood on their hands. These killings are happening at their direction. They must be held accountable. Congress must cut off funding for these heinous acts now. That is from Senator Chris Van Hollen. I would make a poll, but you might be surprised to find out I don't know how to do that. I apologize. Oh, engage with your... Hey, we could start a poll. Here we go. DHS or mayor? DHS, mayor. Start the poll. Even though we already know what the results are going to be, right? And again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you are new here, we go live every morning. This stream was more of an emergency stream, trying to get you guys the most accurate information. What it's looking like so far is this will really dictate what's to come. I'm just going to be honest with you. This is my opinion. Been covering federal operations for a very long time. This truly might dictate the course of what's to come as far as how senators might vote here very soon. On the ground movements, confrontations between protesters, federal agents, you know, I think you guys understand. Yeah, so the poll says 91% Homeland Security, for those of you not voting, 91% to 9%. So I think I know what direction we're going to take this. Three minutes. Okay. Again, I really am trying to be as fair and accurate as possible for you guys. So I am super curious. I'm curious if Homeland Security is going to talk about this aspect of the story where they're reporting on the ground that state troopers and Minneapolis Police Department were told they need to leave the scene. I'm curious if they're going to talk about that. And Kim Katie USA is in the chat. Great to see you, Kim. Thank you for all your hard work. And yeah, this is going to be an overlapping thing. Here we go. So we're going to start with this, and then once Homeland Security starts, I will honor the chats, and we will go there. Get ready for this.
I'm going to turn it over to the Chief to provide an update and some of the details based on the limited amount of information that we have thus far this morning, and then I will provide some comments myself. Chief?
And this is as loud as it gets.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N, O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. At approximately 9:03 a.m. this morning, Minneapolis police received a report of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in the area of East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen. We have not been told any official reports of what has led up to the shooting, but we have seen the video that is circulating on social media. Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands. We urge everyone to remain peaceful. We recognize that there is a lot of anger and a lot of questions around what has happened, but we need people to remain peaceful. In the area, we have an unlawful assembly at this time. Minneapolis police have given multiple warnings for the crowd to disperse. We are asking for people to avoid the area and to leave if you are there. We have requested mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and from all our local and county regional partners. We ask everyone to remain calm and to please do not destroy our own city.
Wow. Okay. You heard that. Please do not destroy our city. Wow.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. Just yesterday, we saw 15,000 people peacefully protesting in the streets, speaking out, standing up for their neighbors. Not a single broken window, not a single injury. Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself. So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again, to make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. What did you do to protect your city? What did you do to protect your nation? This is not what America is about. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now, or are we tearing them apart? The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be. So, to President Trump, this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis, put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these federal agents.
Wow.
Director Sayer.
Still waiting on the Homeland Security press conference. Once that tunes in, I will be starting that. Don't worry.
And I am the director of the Emergency Management Department for the City of Minneapolis. I took this job to keep us safe because I live here, and this is my community. We are doing everything we can to mitigate the impacts of this terrible situation. The city's Emergency Operations Center continues to be activated, as it has throughout the surge in federal agents over the last few weeks. We are tracking impacts and coordinating the city's response to this situation, which is having profound repercussions in our community.
Real quick, I just have to say this. There are videos coming out of barricades that were surrounding the police officers on the ground. I mean, again, we will go into that, but...
Public, lest they become targets, need help accessing the most basic necessities like food, housing, and rides to school. Businesses are shuttering and our local economy is severely impacted, which means families are suffering, just as we were rounding a corner in our recovery. Many of our Minneapolis residents, my neighbors, my friends, my community members, are ceasing participation in public life, afraid to even go to the doctor. In response, the city enterprise continues to utilize our entire emergency apparatus. That means staff across departments, often around the clock, are putting their regular jobs on hold in order to respond to the impacts of Metro Surge. I want everyone to know there are numerous resources available to community members right now. We have mental health help available. We have food assistance, housing and rental assistance, legal help. We are sharing information about what to do if you are exposed to tear gas, pepper spray, or other chemical agents, and the state AGs and ACLU are collecting reports of rights violations. You can access these resources on the city's virtual resource center at minneapolismn.gov/ICE. Please share this information with your neighbors. We have help and we want you to be able to access that. My background is in international humanitarian response in conflict zones. in Yemen, Haiti, Syria, Iraq, and Ukraine. What I've seen here is what I've seen there. A powerful entity violently and intentionally terrorizing people, making them afraid to go outside so they can't earn a living, so that kids are forced out of school. This has a lasting generational impact. People can't plan a single day of their lives because they don't know who is around the corner and if their family member or neighbor is about to be taken away. In these times, you see both the best and the worst. The worst is the terror and the feeling of helplessness. The best is and will continue to be our community's response. The way we are showing up for each other, that is in the absolute worst of times. We're showing up for each other in the absolute worst of times. I'll turn it back to the mayor. Thank you.
We'll open it to questions.
We are seeing an incredible volatile situation unfolding right now around that scene. Is there any communication right now between local and federal law enforcement or cooperation, or where do those efforts stand to try to calm what's going on down there right now?
I'll turn it to the chief to answer.
So the question was, there is an incredibly volatile scene in South Minneapolis right now, and the extent of communication with law enforcement agencies. We have established a command post that is led by Minneapolis Police, and there are representatives from all of the regional, local, county, and state organizations. We have had communication with Homeland Security, but they have not been able to provide us any specific details around the incident itself. We are responsible for ensuring the safety of people on the streets of our city, and we are doing everything that we can to maintain the peace right now, led by Minneapolis Police, but with the help of the Minnesota State Patrol, Hennepin and Ramsey County Sheriffs. Several suburban towns are in the city helping us with 911 calls. We have done an emergency recall of all sworn personnel back to duty. And we are working with the fire department right now to ensure that 2 small fires that were started in the area are safely extinguished. But again, we need everyone to avoid the area if possible, and the people who are in the area, we understand your frustrations. This is not sustainable. But we need people to leave the area at this time.
Is the National Guard involved?
We have communicated with the National Guard. They have been on standby for several days, and we have ensured the National Guard, as well as all of the local law enforcement partners, are aware of the situation.
Chief and Mayor, if I can ask you, this is a statement from Tricia McLaughlin, spokesperson for DHS. She said in her statement, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, seen here. They showed a picture of it. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid. Is that what happened?
So Minneapolis Police, the question was, you read a statement from DHS saying that a weapon was presented and there was attempts to disarm the person. Again, like I stated earlier, Minneapolis Police, as well as our supervisors, our watch commander, responded to the scene. We were not provided any public safety statement around the incident, what happened. We have since seen a video that is circulating online, like thousands of other people have at this time. So we do not know what happened prior to the recording.
I'm assuming we're going to find that out next, just so you guys know. We're still waiting on this press conference, and something in me is telling me that Homeland Security might be waiting for this one to end.
The FBI is on the scene as well. But I think the video speaks for itself. What I can tell you is we have identified this person, 37-year-old white male, resident of the city. The only interaction that we are aware of with law enforcement has been for traffic tickets, and we believe he is a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
Chief, can you clarify, was MPD cut out of this investigation? Has the BCA been cut out like we've seen from the 2 previous shootings?
Here we go.
The question was, has MPD been cut out of the investigation, and has the BCA been cut out? As I stated, I immediately requested the BCA to respond. It's my understanding that they are on the scene. I have not heard anything otherwise. There was initially some information was relayed to me over the radio that our officers were told that they were either not needed or could leave, and I gave a direct order to ensure that Minneapolis police maintain the scene as well as other state and local law enforcement.
There you go.
Do you know whether it was multiple officers involved in the shooting or one officer, and do you know their whereabouts? Are they in custody at all or still on the scene?
So they're there right now.
So the question was is there multiple officers involved in the shooting? That is the preliminary information. That is our understanding, that it was more than one law enforcement officer involved in the discharge. And again, there is public video that shows several law enforcement officers in a scuffle with someone.
Can you talk about the discrepancy? Initial reports said that the victim here was 51 years old. The information that you have, where's that from?
So the question was, the initial reports said the victim was 51. The information that I have is we sent Minneapolis police officers to the hospital with the individual who was shot, and they have since identified that person.
Two more questions.
Do you have a name of the individual who was shot?
I do, and I'm not releasing it.
Are you able to talk, have you been able to talk with top ICE and Border Patrol officials to ask them to please be in on this, or have you talked to them, or have you been rejected?
The question was, have we talked with federal law enforcement to be in on this? We have had conversations with Homeland Security Investigations this morning. We are told they do not have any information to share at this time, but we will attempt to maintain those communications going forward.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that they have no information to share at this time?
The question was, do I believe that they have no information to share at this time? I don't know if the individual that we were in contact with would or not. This is a Saturday morning. And just like it was for us, it was a scramble to do an emergency recall and to get people to the scene.
All right, thank you guys. We'll have more information if we get any later throughout the day.
Okay. That is it. That is all. That is their perspective. That is their side of the story. So again, now we're going to hear the perspective of Border Patrol. I think personally they were probably waiting for that press conference to end to start this press conference, I would assume. This is going to be a very big moment. That was a big moment right there. We got some interesting information. The police chief verifying that, yeah, I did send people on the scene. They were told they can leave, but we stayed. Also important to note, the police chief did say that was an unlawful assembly, so keep that in mind. So now we will be waiting for Border Patrol. Very, very curious what they're going to say, because even Homeland Security has indicated we have more details to come, so get ready for that. And I am looking for more updates as well. I don't know if Homeland is going to bring a video. I have no idea what they're going to say, honestly. But this is going to be Chief Bovino and some leadership in ICE. Greg Bovino and ICE's Executive Assistant Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations, Mark Ghost Charles. We have an interesting video from Cam Higbee. Cam Higbee's on the ground right now. Right there. But to give credit to Cam, that's his page. This was posted not too long ago. 10 minutes ago this was posted, just so you guys are aware. And then again, we are waiting for the Border Patrol press conference. Let me square that up. Okay, so you guys can leave your comments down below how you feel about that. Thank you for the donations. $5 from Megan. $5. Thank you. I love that I can get more news here than the actual news, have it playing in the background, and it's way behind. Thank you for that generous donation. AK Aviator, $5 donation. Local anti-ICE are encouraging people to be armed observers if they have a weapon. There was a Reddit post in Minneapolis about this 2 days ago. Thank you for the donation. And if I missed your donation during that, I really appreciate it. I saw you guys, but I did not want to cut into it because that was going to be the most crucial wording we were going to hear there. James, $2. Thank you for the generous donation. Says, when is it peaceful to start, Fry? Waiting on Homeland Security. So that was Cam Higbee. He is on the ground, so maybe we can get some more clips from Mr. Cam. Cam is reporting that it was dismantled. So federal agents actually pushed back, used some tear gas, and they were able to dismantle everything. Let me get that for you guys real quick. And thank you guys again for being here. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys please subscribe or turn on your notifications. We go live every morning. This is more so an emergency live stream to give you guys all of the updates. This is the video following. So we just saw Cam Higbee as far as context. We just saw the movement going forward. And here's the next sequence of events. Keep in mind, these are federal agents, by the way, but we did just hear from the chief that police are on the ground, but these are federal agents. Man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We are massive advocates for peace on this channel, but this is the response. I do appreciate that $50 donation from Shoes Shoe 5253. Thank you so much for the extremely generous donation. I really appreciate that. And thank you for becoming a member, Kitten Duo 411. Again, I'm really appreciative for all you guys. Thank you so much. Waiting on this. I am very curious what the role of the Minneapolis Police Department is as far as possibly defending the scene or what's going on here. I have no idea. Chad says, Republicans already won the first Civil War. Fry wants Republicans to win the second Civil War. Thank you for the donation. That's what Chad says. Nancy, CC70, thank you for becoming a member. And Yankees, New York Yankees 2026, thank you for the $5 donation. He says thank you. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm trying to find some other perspectives as well. Again, we already read off what Congresswoman Omar had to say. Using the word murder to describe this. This is Omar Fateh. You guys know Omar is the person who was trying to run for Minneapolis mayor, lost. He says, ICE murdered another person in my district. And he is a lawmaker. That was a flat-out execution. So that's two people calling it an execution. Horrific and absolutely on the hands of these untrained, untamed agents. Every single one must be held accountable for their actions. We can no longer allow them to continue on their spree. So that is going to be from Omar Fateh. And that's what he has to say. And we have another very generous donation from Fourth Bees. Hope I said that right. Oh, For the Bees. It's harder. They make it so tiny here. For the Bees. Thank you for a very generous donation. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. All right, we are waiting on this still. I don't see anything from the mayor of St. Paul. I'm trying to get all the different reactions for you guys. And so you guys can have your own opinion on the matter. For those of you just joining, we did just hear what the mayor had to say, what the chief of police had to say, and I forget the crisis response leader had to say as well. Another insane donation, Nancy CC70. Thank you for the $50 donation. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Insane. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Yeah, we're not getting much else here. Let's see if Border Patrol updated their statement. We already saw what the mayor had to say. We did that live. 1 second. We saw what the chief had to say. Now, the chief is saying... We just heard him. The chief is saying... Let's just pull that up for you guys so we can recap real quick. Give me 1 second. $5 donation from Yankee. Visit the advertiser. Makes him more money. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a member. DV9750. Terry G X4J also became a member. Thank you so much, guys. And again, for those of you who are new here, again, we go live every morning, and I really try to do my best to give you guys accurate information. And you'd be surprised. We have quite the cross spread of viewers here as far as political stances. And I do my best to really bring it all together for you guys. ACNY. Now, like we just heard from the chief of police, wondering what JD is saying. Chief of police is indicating he thinks that the person was lawfully carrying.
As well. But I think the video speaks for itself. What I can tell you is we have identified this person, 37-year-old white male, resident of the city. The only interaction that we are aware of with law enforcement has been for traffic tickets. And we believe he is a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, I am curious what Homeland Security is going to say as far as the response to that. I mean, they already did respond. Border Patrol said, if you come to a protest with a firearm, it could be problematic. So that is what they are saying over there in the city. Let's go here. Still waiting on this, man. I think Homeland Security knows this is going to be one of their bigger press conferences, or crucial, maybe is a better word, as far as everybody will be clipping this and paying attention. The word problematic, let me give you guys the exact wording that they used, actually, just so we're accurate in the reporting. Their exact wording was this, and this was before we actually got the press conference here. Border Patrol agents are trained extremely well to protect themselves, their fellow agents, and innocent third parties. When a supposed peaceful protester brings a weapon, such as a loaded handgun, and brandishes it, there are going to be severe consequences and repercussions. That is their exact wording. James said he believed he was licensed. Yeah, those details matter. Let's go back and re-verify that real quick. I would assume they would be able to know that off the bat if he was a citizen in Minnesota. ACN. Let's listen to that wording again, and we are still waiting.
But I think the video speaks for itself. What I can tell you is we have identified this person, 37-year-old white male, resident of the city. The only interaction that we are aware of with law enforcement has been for traffic tickets, and we believe he is a lawful gun owner.
Thank you for picking that up. That's why we do this together. We believe he is, okay? I mean, he did say that he knows the identity, but he was not going to release the identity.
And we believe he is a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
There you go. Okay. Waiting on this still. Let me see if I can get some more clips for you guys here as we wait. Homeland Security, I think they've already put out their statements. They're not really responding to anything. What else do we got? Again, I'm seeing things left and right as far as what we got going on here. Yeah, we saw this already. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. And thank you again, guys, so much for the support, for all the support. I really do appreciate it. And like I always say, if you're new here, we do advocate for peace heavily on my channel. Heavily pray for peace. Homeland, let's see what do they have any other responses? I don't think so. No, we are just waiting on this press conference. Again, almost 1 million views in under an hour from Homeland. A lot of anticipation right now. A lot of anticipation. Somebody said, I thought the guy was 51. They sort of addressed that in the press conference. It was a little confusing as well. We don't have the transcript, though, to pull that up. I don't have the exact timeline with that. To my understanding, I think he indicated he was younger. All right, we have another response from the governor in real time. Governor Tim Walz. This is a new response. I told the White House the state must lead the investigation. Let the state investigators secure justice as we process the scene, stay peaceful, and give them space. So I'm confused here because when we're seeing clips from the reporters on the ground, I'm personally not seeing the state. I saw some clips with the police officers in the state, but like in those other clips, as far as pushing back protesters, those were federal agents. We have another statement from Pritzker. We'll get that in a second for you guys. The state has the personnel to keep people safe. Federal agents must not obstruct our ability to do so. That is from the governor. Brand new statement. Yeah, so take that however you want. We have a messaging from Governor Pritzker. Curious what he has to say. Again, we're getting a cross spread here of all the different perspectives. And then as soon as the live stream starts, I promise we'll be on it, guys. Don't worry. Here we go.
What I can tell you is we went through this in Chicago, although the force in Minneapolis is multiple times bigger. And what you're seeing is that ICE, immediately upon the shooting taking place, without any investigation at all, has come out with its statement about what happened. Instead of saying we're going to investigate, they've just said this is what happened, it's all justified, brandishing of a weapon, etc. And that's what they did in Chicago. They did that to Miramar Martinez, who was shot 5 times by ICE. and taken to court as if she had been the cause of it. And it turns out, what do you know? She was the case was dismissed. None of it was true. But ICE lied immediately, as they did with Silverio Villegas, also killed by ICE in Chicago. So ICE is a bunch of untrained and unqualified people. They've obviously added.
So that is the third time. Again, that's his perspective. That is the third time we've heard in a response. We heard that response from Governor Tim Walz, untrained, unqualified. Also from the state senator, untrained, unqualified. And we keep hearing that, the untrained, unqualified. Thank you, Charles Sharper 221 for the $20 generous donation. President Trump needs to declare the Insurrection Act and send in the military. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All I do know, there are soldiers on standby. J.D. Vance, again, has indicated he doesn't think we need it. Trump has said he doesn't think we need it as of right now, but if it escalates, they said they will not hesitate. That's what they're saying.
Literally thousands and thousands of new agents. It's like it's become some sort of secret police force for Donald Trump. They need to step back from American cities, and in particular right now, they need to withdraw, step back from Minneapolis, and we need to talk about how are we now going to proceed without them causing more damage and more violence, rather than them lying persistently about what they're doing and causing uproar in our American cities.
Now, for those of you wondering why should anyone care what the governor of Illinois has to say, we're seeing a lot of overlap as far as the responses, because the governor of Illinois dealt with Chief Bovino. They went through a lot of processes through the court system, and we're seeing the same thing, almost a mirror image as far as the pushback in Minnesota. In Illinois, as many of you are aware, there was that case to tell Chief Bovino, you can't use tear gas, you can't use pepper balls, as far as defending yourselves from protesters. What did we see in Minnesota? The same thing. What did we see in Illinois? It got appealed. What did we see in Minnesota? It got appealed. So that is why I like to see what he has to say. We see a lot of this overlap as far as responses and messaging. And again, I think it's good to get both perspectives here, because unless you're on this side of the algorithm, you're probably not even going to see that. Okay, let's see what else we got. Just waiting on this big press conference. I have no idea. They're 30 minutes late right now, but obviously this is a very big moment for them to give their perspective. I hope this is not true, what I'm reading right now. Give me 1 second to verify. Ghost Hybrid with a $20 donation says, ICE is untrained and unqualified for riot control. If only state police and the Minnesota National Guard were used by the governor to deal with the unlawful interference and rioters, we wouldn't have these issues. And I understand what you're saying, Ghost. I understand what you're saying. I know you're not saying this in a negative way towards ICE, but when you sign up for a specific organization within Homeland Security, you actually do have an organization in Homeland who's trained for this. Federal Protective Services. That is like their job, to defend federal buildings. But I understand what you're saying. ICE, you don't sign up for ICE to necessarily do defensive operations against protests. There are specific agencies who literally do that. We saw that in Portland. And we saw that in Chicago, where ICE agents on the fly were having to figure out SOPs, standard operating procedures, how to defend their buildings. And we saw it in real time, how they were adapting, what equipment they were getting. And so, yeah, that is true in a sense when we say they're not trained with protesters. It's almost as if the new training is involving that, or there is it's known that you might get into a situation like that. Now, okay, what I was looking at here. And thank you for the generous donation. So some people are saying that there might be fires, but I want to verify that for you before we create this thing that's not true. Yeah, there is a fire. Now, let me click on that for you guys. Give me 1 second. X. We got like a million tabs open. Stephen Miller responding. The Democrats the Democrats page said, ICE agent shot and killed another person in Minneapolis this morning. Get ICE out of Minnesota. Okay. Let me pull up this clip for you guys real quick. Somebody broke, like, there's so much going on right now. Okay, here we go. This is from Benson News Hub. Just to give them credit, if you guys want to go subscribe to them, this is their video. Benson News Hub. It's being reported, I mean, this is a fire on camera.
Law enforcement is in the center from where we're standing right here. I can't see what exactly they have on.
Okay, so you can't
but
tell.
they're in the center right now to preserve the scene.
Yeah.
And Leon, it would appear to me that you've got people arriving there, especially near.
From what agencies?
All right. So that's that. That's raw footage. This is going to be from Cam Higbee again, if you guys want to go follow Cam Higbee. Sorry, let me make this screen bigger. Again, we are waiting on this press conference here. About 30 minutes behind. Here's Cam Higbee.
His leg is fucking broken. Pick him up. Oh my god, they broke his leg? Oh my god.
They're reporting somebody broke their leg.
He needs medical care.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right, guys. Like I said, it's not the greatest situation, guys. I mean, seriously. Yeah, I think a lot of what this press conference is going to mean a lot, I think, as far as completing the context, because then we'll have the two separate sides here as far as what Minneapolis is saying and what Homeland is saying. All right. Waiting to see what other information we can get. Stephen Miller not happy with Amy, who is a U.S. Senator from Minnesota. Stephen Miller says, a domestic terrorist tried to assassinate federal law enforcement, and this is your response? You and the state's entire Democrat leadership team have been flaming the flames of insurrection for the singular purpose of stopping the deportation of illegals who invaded the country. That is straight from Stephen Miller. I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but FBI Director Kash Patel just posted this. Just an update on this story. We got DV with the $5 donation real quick. You're going to have this issue when there are thousands of protesters interfering with agents. It is sad that agitators and rioters jump in, don't help. Thank you for the $5 donation. Okay, Kash Patel just posted this. And again, I'm looking for more responses on the flip side. how people feel about this. There's a lot of people not happy with this as well. So we're trying to get the opposite spectrums, bring it together. We heard some language from Congresswoman Omar calling this a execution, actually. Yeah, and for those of you in the snowstorm, again, prayers to you guys. Hope everything is okay with you guys. This is from FBI Director Kash Patel. Last night and early this morning, the FBI and partners arrested 4 more individuals wanted for destruction and theft of government property. I would assume that has to do with that vehicle. You guys remember that vehicle that was ransacked? This is in connection to the January 14th incident where rioters destroyed an FBI vehicle and stole multiple items. There you go. Thanks, Pam Bondi and the Justice Department for their ongoing leadership. And thank you to ATF, DEA, HSI, and local partners for the work and support of the investigation. Yeah. And again, with all the resources on the ground, to my knowledge, I mean, Pam Bondi is out there as well. It seems like they have a local team who are doing these charges and prosecutions. So, and the Trump administration has made it clear for people who cross the line, it looks like they've been specifically, I don't want to say targeting, but investigating, more so leadership. I think we saw this already.
We just have a few moments here, but it seems to be some smoke is rising. I don't know if these are smoke bombs. It was peaceful when we began to talk, and we noted that.
Yeah, we saw that already. That's when federal agents were trying to push people back with the barricades. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. I don't know if that... thank you for the $2 donation, 70 Skylar. I don't know if you meant watching or actually Wang Chung, but I appreciate that. Yeah, Nini62 says, the protesters in that church protest, is it true that they were released? Yes. That's what the show was supposed to be about today, but we are not going to be covering that today. We will probably cover it tomorrow, depending on. But I do have the actual interview. That was supposed to be what this live stream was about. So if you guys want to subscribe or turn on your notifications, we have that information for you guys. Let's go here real quick. Give me 1 second. I have another clip for you guys. This is Eric. I'm not getting a lot of videos from like a CNN or MSN. I'm really curious how they are reporting it and what they're saying. I am not getting too much of that, to be honest with you guys. So I'm doing my best to get a equal spread here.
In Washington, government funding is about to run out next week. Senators are supposed to come back to the Hill next week to vote on government funding, which includes funding for the Department of Homeland Security, for ICE, for FEMA, for a lot of different things to help people across the country. The House just voted on it. The Senate has to pick it up. And there are senators already calling on blocking that funding, basically holding.
Yeah, from the political perspective here, I mean, I would assume this is going to get talked about.
It hostage in a way in order to get reforms to the Department of Homeland Security. And a senior Democratic congressional source just told our chat program that this shooting and what we're seeing right now on the screen is a, quote, new wild card and could make it challenging to fund the government next week, fund the Department of Homeland Security. So a lot of different things are at play right now, and we're watching all of it. We're also waiting for this press conference to take place in the next half hour here.
And we are waiting as well still. Thank you, Richard, for becoming a member. I appreciate it.
We're waiting for the Border Patrol Chief, Bavino. He's going to take the microphone here in Minneapolis and give us an update. But so far, we know that one person.
So this is what I mean right here. I am a little confused as far as what is the cooperation and interaction. These are state troopers right here.
is dead. A 37-year-old white man, American citizen, multiple gunshot wounds. Life-saving aid was delivered to him. He was taken to the Hennepin County Medical Center, but he was pronounced dead.
Okay. We are waiting again for this press conference. A lot of anticipation. It was supposed to be at 12. It's 12:41 right now in Minneapolis. Waiting to see what's going to happen next. And Richard upgraded to a membership to T-SPLY squad. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for your help and donations. Nothing there. Looking to see if other leadership, any other leadership had something else to say. We heard from Governor Pritzker already. And again, we already heard this, but...
Approximately 9:03 a.m. this morning, Minneapolis police received a report of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in the area of East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen.
Okay, so we have that information already, but of course we are waiting for, again, I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's the truth. We are much anticipation here. Much anticipation. Governor Josh Shapiro, 48th governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, says, ICE's clear abuses of power are only creating danger in our communities. Again, this is the governor of Pennsylvania. We saw it with the killing of Renee Good, and we see it with more horrific video of another killing today. Law enforcement's goal should always be to keep people safe and build trust with the community. That's what the Pennsylvania State Police and our local partners do every day. ICE, directed by Donald Trump and his administration, is violating people's constitutional rights. It's past time for them to stop wreaking havoc on our communities. So that is what the governor of Pennsylvania had to say. Again, we are looking for all the reactions here. See what else we got. Yeah, we saw a lot of this already. Again, we're just waiting for that update, guys. ICE is not leaving. Yeah, I don't think Homeland Security is leaving because the deportation operation is not the only operation occurring right now in Minneapolis and St. Paul and the state of Minnesota. So I don't think we have a response from the president. No. I think that's, yeah, it's not gonna. Let's see if Kristi Noem said anything. Nothing from Kristi Noem. Again, it looks like they're just going to be waiting on that conference. Nope, nothing here. Sorry for the dead silence and not talking. I'm really, really looking for anything else we haven't seen. Obviously, I can't show you guys the full video. Has Harmeet Dillon said anything? Nothing. Really, no major responses from like individuals, to be honest with you. Stephen Miller would be the closest. Yeah, he's responding to a bunch of people right now. Chris Murphy, U.S. Senator from Connecticut, says ICE must leave Minneapolis. Congress should not fund this version of ICE that is seeking confirmation, chaos, and dystopia. That is from Chris Murphy. Let's see if we have an update from Jacob Fry. Nope, nothing else from Jacob Fry. We already heard his response, what he had to say. Let's see, people. All right, we have a video. This is Seth Moulton. Seth Moulton is a candidate for U.S. Senate in Massachusetts. Our fight can't wait. Here we go. And again, we are waiting for that press conference, I promise.
What we just saw this morning on the streets of Minneapolis is another outright murder by federal officials. And let me just be clear. Those federal ICE officers are absolute cowards. I'm a Marine veteran standing here telling you to your face they are unprofessional, pathetic cowards. Because if a Marine, an 18-year-old Marine, did that in Iraq in the middle of a war zone, he would be court-martialed. Because it is murder. And you pathetic little cowards who have to wear face masks because you're so damn scared couldn't even effectively wrestle a guy to the ground, so you needed to shoot him. This is why ICE needs to be prosecuted. Yeah, I voted to defund it, but ICE, you need to be prosecuted. Wow. And Director Lyons, who's running ICE right now, I hope you're hearing this from this Marine to you. You guys are criminal thugs. You need to be held accountable to the law if you think you can enforce it. And you need to be prosecuted right now.
Okay. That is Seth Moulton. Okay. Yeah, they are behind on this conference here. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm relevant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Very generous of you, too. And, yeah, for those of you that are in the storm right now or possibly might get hit, make sure you guys are well prepared. I'm assuming everyone knows about this storm that's coming or is here. Hope you guys are safe. And, yeah, I'm trying to be fair here and get all the different perspectives. So we got that.
Oh, I'd like to be patient, take a breath, try to calm everyone down, and let's get all of the circumstances accounted for and get DHS to do an investigation. Now, I see that Governor Tim Walz is saying let Minnesota do the investigation. He said in his tweet or his post on X, Minnesota knows how to keep our people safe. If that were the case, Governor, where have they been for the last 2 weeks? No local law enforcement is cooperating with this federal law enforcement in its mission to get criminal illegals off the streets. But now he wants to take control of this investigation when none of his police were present.
And this has really been the biggest issue the Trump administration has had as far as sanctuary status cities, sanctuary status counties. is the reactive to wanting to work with Homeland Security. As you guys are hearing, or we did hear, Governor Tim Walz wants to work with Homeland Security, or wants to be in charge of this investigation after the fact, and that's where the Trump administration gets upset. And you're probably hearing this a lot more recently. Even the president came out and said, "Why are you not working with us?" And it gets very confusing because you will hear the mayor say, "We want to work with you," but then you'll hear Homeland Security say they're not working with us. And then that's where we really get that back and forth.
Maintain the peace, but it doesn't look awfully peaceful out there right now.
No, actually, there were just tear gas canisters fired and flashbangs thrown at the protesters. They basically succeeded moving them about 1 block from where those dumpsters are down to here. And as we can see now, we have the SWAT vehicle, we have state police, and we have police. But by firing off tear gas, they've managed to take 1 block. The protesters have regrouped and another standoff. So this might be an action where we see a block at a time. The protesters continue to regroup, and we see more tear gas, pepper spray to move them back.
I mean, this is a perfect example. We just heard in that press conference where they say, you know, we're on the ground, we're out there, we want to be involved. But the images we're seeing and the pushback is coming from the federal agents. But we also just heard the chief of police say, this is an unlawful gathering, you need to push back. So I'm just as confused as probably some of you might be as far as who's in charge here as far as the protection of the scene.
Steve, by your observation, are the numbers growing? Because it looks like it to us as we're watching these different angles come in. Where we were at about an hour and a half ago, it's a completely different scene now.
Like, look right here. These are state police officers right here in the yellow.
Numbers have grown dramatically. Now they spread out because they've just been pretty badly pepper sprayed. That sent everyone on a run. And it looks like some of these pepper spray rifles are being reloaded again. They were throwing ice blocks at the officers in the immediate uptick to the pepper spray being fired.
Really hard to hear you, and that's because of all the shouting and screaming in the back.
Okay, let's check in to see. Nope, no press conference yet. Thank you for the $10 donation. That is from Stephanie. Stephanie says, I thought this was CBP, who was involved, not ICE. What do people expect? He brandished a gun. Were they supposed to shake his hand and not try to arrest him? Pray for our agents. That's from Stephanie. And thank you again for the generous donation and your input with the video here. Yeah, and that's a good point. Was it CBP? Was it ICE? According to initial reporting, it was CBP. And if you watch the video, that was CBP. I've said this a lot. That gets very confusing because I just got to report the press conference will be at 1. Got delayed to 1. That is confusing because everybody gets identified as ICE. And, you know, when I say everybody, a lot of times in the reporting, you have the generalization of, that is ICE. We want ICE out. I don't know why that is, but you are right. It gets very confusing. Okay, live in 5 minutes. And we're going to be getting clarification here in a second from Homeland Security as far as the involvement, agents involved, agencies involved. Specifically in Minneapolis, it can get extra confusing because of how many agents are on the ground and the cooperation in conjunction with one another. So you will have Border Patrol, but then you'll see in the corner of a screen an ICE agent or HSI, and then you'll see like an FBI agent. So I'm going to assume Chief Bovino is going to be giving the details on this. So I'm with you. It can be a little confusing. Got this in 4 minutes. I think this is the longest live stream we've ever done. So again, I really do appreciate you guys being here, sticking around. Thank you so much. We are up to a 3-hour live stream. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Again, there's really no other information we're going to get. We got responses from lawmakers, both from the right and the left, and you guys can cast your judgment on that, how you feel about it. This is the missing piece of the puzzle as far as the perspective from the federal agents. So we got the perspective from Minneapolis, the mayor and the chief of police. And now we're going to get the perspective from Homeland. Thank you. And yeah, I am seeing Lions Today left a comment and said, other angles are popping up. Yes, they are. There are other angles of the scene that are popping up. The only reason why I don't really want to play that on here is because I want to hear the official report. And when you guys now get both of the official reports, you can leave this live stream and now you will have all the sides of the story here and you can watch those videos and you'll have a better opinion. And you'd be surprised how many people watch my videos. I'm actually surprised who don't like ICE, but they want to hear the other side. I always say this, I really do think the algorithms are so one-sided on either side. It's actually very hard to find equal perspectives that are not so far right-left. So, doing my best here to help you guys out. This is from Inside Info 316. Thank you for the $5 donation. You say, in Illinois, I have talked to DHS people that say they have personally okayed, on the governor's direction, the funding of illegals for food, housing, and medical and cash. That is from Inside Info. Yeah, I haven't been keeping too up to date with Illinois. That story has been quite quiet, but as far as sanctuary cities, yeah, there are a lot of programs as far as like food delivery and stuff like that. Yeah, we have one right there. Concerned Troll 4628. I don't like ICE, but I love your streams. Well, I appreciate you. And again, I always say, if you don't like ICE, or if you love ICE, I do think it's crucial, hear the other side, because again, I don't know why it's like this. My algorithm is so weird, you're just not going to hear what people are saying. Now, I am transparent. I'm a Christian conservative. I do have my bias. I think everybody has their bias, right? Isn't it like impossible to not be biased? But for the benefit of you guys, I'm doing my best to give you all the info you need. So I'm not making this about me at all. This is about the story. I apologize for the silence here again. Here we go. 60 seconds to take off. This is going to be big. This is going to be very, very big. I am wondering if Chief Bovino or whoever is going to bring out a picture or a video. They did that in the last press conference. In the middle of the press conference, they're like, hey, look at this picture. There are protesters with like riot shields outside of the press conference here. And now the 60 seconds is up. This should be starting here. Let's see what happens. I am very, very curious if they bring out the... and look, I'm seeing the other angles and the other the pictures in the video, so I'm really curious what's going to happen. Again, we saw this happen in Portland. The story really got quiet super, super fast. Border Patrol engaged. The gang affiliate, the guy tried to hit Border Patrol according to Homeland, and we didn't hear much from that story ever again. The biggest part of that story was the preemptive press conference. That was like the biggest part of the story. It wasn't even what actually occurred on the ground. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Again, we definitely need to pray for peace, and we need to pray for the safety of people in this ice storm and snowstorm, for sure. I am not seeing if it's like as bad as what they're saying. Maybe you guys will know. I would assume if people are in the ice storm right now, they probably can't watch this. Sometimes you have to refresh it. Let's see. Imagine if Border Patrol put an ad on this. Yeah, there are new angles popping up left and right. There were a lot of people filming. I don't think, if you guys are unaware, if you saw the video, there were like protesters there, like with whistles, and were already on the scene. I don't know how they knew to be there. I'm really curious if they're going to bring that up. This is from Sharon Hat 939. Thank you for the generosity. Thank you for the $10 donation. I don't understand how local leaders aren't held accountable for their violent rhetoric. That is from Sharon. Yeah, that's what Chief Bovino, that is probably one of the biggest talking points from Chief Bovino. In my personal opinion, I think the problem that the Trump administration has always had, it's very hard for them to prove that so-and-so said this, and because of that, this happened. Now, of course, many people are like, obviously that's happening, but when it comes to like having full proof, you have to be able to quantify that. I'm not saying it's not happening, but I'm just saying for the Trump administration, they've been saying it over and over, but they've never had a comparison. So and this is what I mean. So when Chief Bovino went down to Louisiana, and now he's doing interviews in Minnesota, all of his interviews, a lot of them he keeps saying, when I was in Louisiana, nothing happened. We got attacked one time. When I'm in Chicago, when I'm here, I keep getting attacked. That is that one quantifying point. They have a way to compare it. And so that is, even Chief Bovino said, I'm going to keep talking about Louisiana because I had a good experience there. So that has always been the problem for the Trump administration. They never had a comparison or talking point that could really had a comparison there. I hope that makes sense. And we are waiting. This has already been pushed back 30 minutes. U.S. Customs is gaslighting us, says Heart Sleeve Rhea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're getting more updates. No idea. I can pull this up for you guys. I mean, we saw this. You guys already saw the clips of federal agents pushing back against protesters, but... Yeah, so right now the protesters are actually clashing with the Minnesota State Troopers with a mattress, like literally a mattress as a shield. So they are on the scene. That is accurate. Let's see. Waiting on some more reports here. Relevant reporting. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I mean, there's so much going on right now. All right, so the mayor actually just posted. So this would be the mayor's response, I guess, the official response. He just posted this, which is going to be a clip from the previous press conference. Just a quick recap.
This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting they should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart?
Nothing. We are still waiting.
The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be. So, to President Trump, this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis, put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these federal agents.
Okay, so interesting enough, the Minnesota Star Tribune actually released the name of the man, but the chief of police did not release the name of the man. Now, the Minnesota Star Tribune, the mayor of St. Paul actually reposts them as far as like an accredited source. So they just released the name. James P239, thank you for the $5 donation. He says, how much neutral reporting would we be getting if Elon had not bought X? It would all be one-sided like 3 years ago. Actually, Elon Musk is getting a lot of flack right now. There are some users on there that people I don't want to say don't like, but are really pushing that boundary of what you can say and not say. And Elon says, I fully stand for the First Amendment. So Elon is holding true to his word over on that platform. In fact, I remember Elon Musk has been community noted before. The White House has also been community noted before a couple days ago. And for those of you who don't know, that's like the fact-checking on that platform. Thank you for your generosity. Man, they are really making us wait. I think this is something they're not going to want to rush, that's for sure. For those of you wondering, what's the age? 37-year-old. That is the age that's being reported, not the 51-year-old. I don't know where that number came from. I never saw that number. But apparently he was 37. I see some of you are asking about that. And we are waiting. Oh, we have a statement from the president. I'm sure you guys are going to want to see that. Here, yeah. It's a written statement. Okay, so we have a statement from the president. I'll pull that up for you guys. Give me 1 second, please. That's going to be Eric. And here we go. That's easier to read for you guys too. All right. Here's what the president had to say. And just so you know, he posted this with the picture of the firearm. This is the gunman's gun, loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? Where are the local police? Why aren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor called them off. It is stated that many of these police were not allowed to do their job, that ICE had to protect themselves. So the president is using the word ICE too, by the way, but to my understanding, it's Border Patrol. Not an easy thing to do. Why does Ilhan Omar have $34 million in her account? And where are the tens of billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state of Minnesota? We are there because of massive monetary fraud, with billions of dollars missing, and illegal criminals that were allowed to infiltrate the state through the Democrats' open border policy. We want the money back, and we want it back now. Those fraudsters who stole the money are going to jail. Where they belong, this is no different than a really big bank robbery. Much of what you're witnessing is a cover-up for this theft and fraud. The mayor and the governor are inciting insurrection with their pompous, dangerous, and arrogant rhetoric. Instead, these sanctimonious political fools should be looking for the billions of dollars that has been stolen from the people of Minnesota. In the United States of America, let our ICE patriots do their job. 12,000 illegal alien criminals, many of them violent, have been arrested and taken out of Minnesota. If they were still there, you would see something far worse than you are witnessing today. That is from the president. All right. So that's from the president. Oh, here we go. This is going to be big, guys. Here we go.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. I'm Gregory Bovino, and I have the privilege and honor of leading United States Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection here in Minneapolis. Some of those brave men and women of Border Patrol and Department of Homeland Security law enforcement join me here today to show support for all federal law enforcement who have been under constant attack in Minneapolis for weeks now. This morning was no different. At 9:05 a.m. Central Standard Time, as DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien, Jose Huerta Chuma. You can see this illegal alien on the screen to my left and right. That is Jose Huerta Chuma, whose criminal history includes domestic assault to intentionally inflict bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. During this operation, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 loaded magazines and no accessible ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Then, about 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement. Crowd control measures have been deployed for the safety of the public and law enforcement. This situation is evolving, and more information is forthcoming. The officer was highly trained and had been serving as a Border Patrol agent for 8 years. The officer has extensive training as a range safety officer and less lethal officer. As mentioned, this is only the latest attack on law enforcement. Across the country, the men and women of DHS have been attacked, shot at, doxxed, had their family members threatened. And, as we have seen, more than 100 vehicle rammings over the past year against federal law enforcement. We will not allow violence against our law enforcement officers, and we need state and local help. State and local law enforcement to help us coordinate to get violent criminals off the street. Mayor Fry and Chief O'Hare just a few minutes ago did the opposite of that by omitting the fact that the suspect had a gun and magazines full of ammunition. In what looks like a situation, again, where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. I want to reiterate what President Donald Trump, Secretary Kristi Noem, myself, Director Marcos Charles, and so many others have said time and again. If you obstruct a law enforcement officer or assault a law enforcement officer, you are in violation of the law and will be arrested. Our law enforcement officers take an oath to protect the public. We go to work every day to protect our friends, our neighbors, and our fellow citizens. The fact of the matter is that the law does not enforce itself. It takes men and women who are willing to risk their lives to enforce it. The men and women of CBP and ICE, law enforcement, are highly trained professionals who love this country and do this work because they want to leave their kids and their grandkids a country that's safe and secure. Questions?
That was quick. Let's see what these questions are.
Allie, this situation again is evolving. This situation is under investigation. Those facts will come to light. This particular incident is being investigated just like we investigate other similar incidents like we've done over the past several years. It's in the hands of professionals. Those facts will come to light.
All right, going on to the next question.
She was asking, was he brandishing the firearm?
And I watched the video from start to finish of that woman who was wearing the red jacket, and it doesn't seem like he pulled the weapon at any point, so...
She's saying it doesn't seem like he pulled out the firearm if you can't hear it. Thank you for the $2 donation, Richard. Thank you.
Again, this situation's evolving. This is under investigation. Those facts will come to light, but let's take a look at the gun that individual possessed. It appears to be a semi-automatic, high-capacity type, possibly a Sig Sauer 9mm.
All right, no more questions. Sorry, no more questions, sir.
Wow. If you guys can't hear, everybody's asking, where was the gun? Where was the gun? So be prepared. That's what's going to be the big talking point, and that's why I brought that up at the beginning of the show. That was it. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Everybody in the background was saying that. And Allie works for Newsmax as well. Allie has been on the scene for a while. She asked about the brandishing of the firearm. Again, when you look at the reporting from Homeland themselves, just to quick recap. 1 second. Oh, whoa. I mean, this is big news here too, right? Stay tuned. U.S. Appeals Court sees probable cause to charge journalist Don Lemon, but declines to order lower court to sign arrest warrants. So just so you guys know, we are keeping up to date with that. DHS, real quick. When you look at the report, and I think that's why people are asking the question. So there's that. Officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. Here it is. DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. So be prepared. That's probably going to be the point of contention today. In my opinion, that's probably going to be the contention. So, yeah. And the the police chief of Minneapolis said they believe he was legally carrying. That's what he said. And now there's just a million different angles coming out. So, yeah, that is pretty much all of the relevant information we're gonna get. At this point, I hope I gave you guys enough information to go out and see what you're going to see. And one thing I will say is this. Again, I do pray for peace. Please pray for peace. And I think we're going to need that right now. I mean, now we're just going to have to wait and see what the reactions are going to be. We have some very strong statements from opposition or people who don't like what they saw, calling this an execution, a murder. On the flip side, Chief Bovino, you heard that. Homeland Security saying, we felt a threat. So, all right. I will do my best to keep you guys up to date. Obviously, we have a massive storm rolling through the United States, so there you go. I hope I was as fair as possible for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream as much as you could. And again, if you're new here, make sure to please subscribe. Turn on your notifications. If there's a really, really big update, like a Don Lemon issue situation, we'll see what happens with that. I will go live. If we have more updates on this, I will immediately go live. But as of right now, yeah, thank you guys for everything. And I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for all your monetary support and your support as well. The likes and the comments and everything. Thank you guys so much. So we will see you guys all later. And I hope to see you soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. And I thank you guys again for everything. Again, I really say pray for peace. This is a big deal. All right. Love you guys. God bless. And we will see you all later. Love you guys. Thank you so much.